Hey everyone, welcome to another video. This one is going to be about mind control, MK Ultra, subliminal messages, musical frequencies, mass media, hypnosis, groupthink, and religion. And it's important for us to go over these kind of things because unfortunately, all of us are under these type of influences every day, all day, whether you watch TV, movies, listening to music on the radio, even music that you buy, you have the risk of being subliminally programmed in order for your behavior to then be controlled in the future. So, I want to go over all of these different ways in which we deal with these things. And I also want to point out how Jaguar Wright is an example of someone who behaves in a way that would suggest that out of her time in the music industry, she's been affected by these type of programs, influences, and how Jaguar Wright uses the language, the strategies, the techniques to mind control other people that she has either learned from her time in the industry or picked up from how the industry tried to influence and program her using these strategies and techniques. This has a long history. A lot of people have been affected by it. And in order for all of us to come out of whatever type of mind control that we may have been influenced by over the years, the only way to come out of it is for us to learn about it, get educated about it, and then we can destroy the programs that are being used against us. The reason why all of these mind control techniques were created, developed, and unleashed on the public is for control. Whoever is in control, whether you want to call it the government, corporations, people who run cults, use these different type of strategies I'm going to be talking about. It's all about control, controlling people's minds, controlling people's bodies, and of course, the main purpose is to control people's money. So that's why we're going to break this down. This may have to be a series because there's a lot of different ways in different types of groups of people that employ mind control tactics. So I may have to do a part two, part three, because this is happening across the board at very high levels and at very low levels. And we're going to talk about that in this video as well. I just want to set up my other phone so I can be in the comment section with you guys. Okay. And I just did a little sound check so that, okay, I'm getting a message here. All right. YouTube is advising me to add moderators. All right, guys. So if you've been subscribed to my channel for a long time and you support my content and you would like to be a moderator, send me an email, leilaniforgot@gmail.com, and I'll make you a moderator. For the most part, since I've started going live recently, I just let the trolls do whatever they want to do. And I notice how the audience, you guys, y'all hop on these trolls' heads. So I give y'all credit. Y'all be taking care of the trolls for me. So I just let them do what they do because y'all wind up eating them up anyway. So let's get into this whole mind control agenda, how it affects all of us and how it affects Jaguar Wright. All right, so the first slide I have for you, and if you're watching my content on your cell phone, because I've been using my cell phone to make content, all you have to do is expand your screen and it will be full screen. If you're watching me on your laptop or your TV, it might not be full screen, but I will enlarge certain things to show you what I'm talking about. So here we have this picture from this movie called They Live. And in this movie, they talked about how, well, the movie was basically about a guy who found a pair of glasses that enabled him to see the truth every day that other people walking around him in society could not see. So when he would put the glasses on, he noticed that the billboards that would have normally when you're out in public shopping, you see these big billboards and they have ads for clothing stores or whatever, the advertisements. When he put the glasses on, he was able to see that there was subliminal messaging behind the advertising that said, "Do not question authority. Stay asleep. Watch TV. No imagination. No independent thought. Submit. No ideas." Okay? The lady has a shopping bag. The bag, normally, to a person that's not wearing the glasses that he's wearing, would probably say the name of the store where she bought whatever's in the bag. But when he wore the glasses, he could see that the subliminal programming, the message hidden underneath whatever pictures or words are on the shopping bag, say consume. So this is a movie that exposes subliminal programming. And the guy is holding a newspaper, which is also full of subliminal programs. And he also showed in the movie how magazines show subliminal ads, subliminal wording underneath the ads. So when I was a teenager, I worked in a mall at a toy store, and they played the same exact, like, 2 or 3 hours of music. It would just recycle every couple of hours. And I asked one of the store managers, I was like, "Why do y'all keep playing the same music over and over again? It's torturing us as employees." And he was like, there's some subliminal messages in there that say, like, don't steal and shop more. So I was told that by a store manager when I was a teenager. So I'm like, okay, this is real. I didn't watch this movie They Live until just a few years ago because it's an old movie. But I watched it and I thought it was very good and very relevant to what we're going through in this day and age. When I looked up define subliminal on Google, it says below the threshold of conscious perception, used of stimuli, inadequate to produce conscious awareness, but able to evoke a response. So a subliminal message is something to where you can see it or hear it, but it doesn't register in your mind that you've seen it or heard it. It's a hidden message that does manage to get through to your subconscious mind. One example of that is this TikTok challenge that says if you play this sound, your kids will come running. Apparently, when you use this sound, little kids appear. Below that, it says if you play this sound, your kids will come running. What is it called? The Cocoa Melon Challenge. Now, this is something a little scary as far as I'm concerned. I made a short video to show you guys how the children start running as soon as they hear the noise. So this video I made is going to be about 1 minute long. I didn't play the sound on purpose because I'm not trying to brainwash you guys to get up and start running around. But if you notice, the kids start coming, the little ones and the big ones, as soon as the parents start to play Cocoa Melon. This child is going to run from far. Okay. All right, so here's another video demonstrating the same thing. The lady plays the song. The kid stops what he's doing and runs from far, from wherever they are, just because she played the music. In my opinion, this is dangerous. I don't want to talk about in detail how dangerous something like this could be. That's why I'm not playing the actual song, but it's the Cocoa Melon song. Whoever has heard of Cocoa Melon has heard the song. And Cocoa Melon is like the #1 top thing that the kids, are into these days. And it's making them lose control over themselves. But it's not actually the program, it's the music that's in the program. In the comment section, people were saying, "I love the smiles on parents' faces when their babies come running." Someone else at the bottom said, "Me trying this on my child and my husband comes in first." So this music has the ability to create a physical, immediate, abandon everything reaction in children and adults. That's very dangerous that music can be used like that in that way. It says here, I see someone in the comment section, loyal one. The frequency and sound waves are activating certain parts in the brain, making them react that way. Exactly. Exactly. And that's exactly what I'm about to talk about in more detail. And I noticed that as I went over that, I had 18 people in the room, and now it's down to 10. So a lot of those people are probably parents. They probably have children. Coco Melon is like a top, like almost number one, if not number one, supported and watched and promoted children's television show or cartoon or whatever it is. And so people don't want to hear it. They don't want to deal with it. And the problem is when that music is then used to manipulate people into doing things they may not want to do, spending money they may not have to waste, they're just going to fall victim to it because they don't want to hear the truth. But anyway, based on what you're saying, loyal one, that's exactly where we're going with this. It says who and why changed music's tuning frequency from 432 to 440 hertz. And I looked that up on Google. It says when you compare the same composition, the tuning of musical instruments that are used in the production of music in the music industry, music that we all consume, all genres. It says when you compare the same composition in 432 hertz and 440 hertz, there's definitely a difference. There are many theories why we still listen to music at 440 hertz. Some even claim that 432 is in harmony with the vibration of the universe. And now we are blocked from this channel. All right. It says here, most music worldwide has been tuned to 440 hertz since the International Standards Organization endorsed it in 1953. The recent discoveries of the vibratory, oscillatory nature of the universe indicate that this contemporary international concert pitch standard may generate an unhealthy effect or anti-social behavior in the consciousness of human beings. Okay? So it's saying that the International Standards Organization, ever since 1953, started to endorse that music, the tuning of the pitch of music from concert halls all the way throughout recorded music be changed from the 432 hertz, which was a natural harmonic that resonated with nature and the planet Earth, and they changed it over to 440 hertz, which is said to generate an unhealthy or antisocial behavior effect in the consciousness of human beings. Okay, so it's not just that they changed the pitch of some music in one genre. This was an international decree to create music that would create antisocial behavior in humans. Okay, that's a huge problem because now we see people acting crazy. We see how music has went from positive to now is so negative, so dark. All of the love is out of it. It's all about selfish gain, how to use people, get over on people, manipulate, lie. It's just about sex and violence, drugs, getting money by any means necessary, hurting other people. This is the long-term effect of that change. All right. And the question is, why was it made an international, decree? Why was it so important to make everybody in the whole wide world go crazy through music? There's an old movie called The Manchurian Candidate. It started out as a novel in 1959. It's a political thriller about the son of a prominent U.S. political family who was brainwashed into being an unwitting assassin for a communist conspiracy. All right, so the movie was redone a few times. It was redone the most recently in 2004, starring Denzel Washington. It's a very good movie. I watched it a few years ago, and I was very surprised because it was so honest. This is the type of information that usually is kept away from people knowing in real life in the public. Even when I Googled this, they don't really have a lot of information about it, which is mind control experiments that were conducted by the military on military personnel. Unfortunately, when people sign up to join the military, they become the property of the US government. And so when they want to test new different vaccines, mind control techniques, torture methods, exposure to extreme conditions like extreme weather, water, all type of stuff, people in the military are not only soldiers, they're also people who get tested on. They become the subjects of various experiments. And the thing with researchers conducting experiments, you're never supposed to tell the subject exactly what the research purpose is. So they might tell you, oh, we're going to inject you with this new vitamin supplement to see if it will make you stronger and be a super soldier. And they might get, people in the service to voluntarily participate in it. They might pay them for being test subjects. But the truth is, what they're injecting them with could be something harmful or dangerous, just testing it out to see how humans react to it. There's been plenty of human experiments conducted by the government over the years on the human population. In this country, in America, on the Black community, they tested out the long-term effects of untreated syphilis. They tested that out on Black men. It was called the Tuskegee experiment. They injected them with syphilis and just let them live with it until they died and documented, oh, these are the side effects of syphilis. This is the point at which people go blind. This is the point at which people go insane. Like, they just did it to document it. But anyway, back to this movie Manchurian Candidate. Denzel Washington's character was, I guess, retired from the military. And he was trying to get in touch with some of his friends that he served with because he was having problems remembering what happened during the years that he served in the military. So he was like going around visiting his old military friends, and they were acting crazy. They were running away from him. They were like, I don't want to talk about it. He wound up getting like one person that he knew from the military to talk with him, and they both agreed that whatever they were told verbally about what happened to them in the military is not really what really happened. And they were trying to figure out, how is it possible that their memories don't add up to what they were told? And basically what it came down to is that they were a group that was under a mind control experiment to make them secret assassins, so that they would pick up a gun and go and kill somebody just off of the verbal commands of their higher officer. So it happened in a movie to where Denzel got a phone call, someone who was a very high-ranking military officer. She said a few strange words to him, and he picked up his gun and he went to take somebody out. So that's the reason why they have memory lapses, is because their memories were false implants. And that is the result of mind control. These are some videos that you guys can check out if y'all want to learn more about mind control. There's one here that says SpongeBob is a Mason. And that's something that people, need to know, because the information in the SpongeBob cartoons, it seems harmless and comedic for children and adults. But there's all of this messaging, symbolism, wording, behavior that's being promoted to whoever watches SpongeBob, which we know is a very popular cartoon. People are taking in all of this type of information that's actually very negative, and it's indoctrinating the public into secret societies and ideologies. So as they get older, as they go on with their life, they're already comfortable and familiar with signs and symbols that are only reinforcing that they should continue to just be mindless, be distracted with social media, only care about selfish gain, be antisocial, not really try to do anything productive, only do what they're told to do by their jobs, by the government, so on and so forth, even if those things are destructive to themselves. So I showed you guys a little bit of this. If you play this sound, your kids will come running. CIA mind control, secret experiments. This is a video that was done by National Geographic Channel. Top 5 creepy facts about mind control. Noam Chomsky, manufacturing consent. How television feeds you so much intentional psychological programming that you start to consent to losing civil liberties, rights, justice, legal ramifications. All of this stuff is designed to keep us trapped in a system where bad guys dictate everything that we do. And of course, that would imply never exposing their criminal activity. Covert operations, how the CIA works with Hollywood. That's on the Al Jazeera channel. The CIA is definitely linked to Hollywood. In order for movies to come out on the big screen, they have to get permission from the CIA. Nothing hits the big screen that has not been screened by the CIA. And the CIA has such a high level of security clearance that not even the White House can tell them what to do. So the CIA basically functions even at a higher level than the president in terms of their right to keep secrecy they claim for the interests of public security, which is understandable. But on the other hand, when all of this information I'm about to share with you guys in a few minutes starts coming out about them, there's an old saying, absolute power corrupts absolutely. When you have a secret group of people with unlimited power, historically, it doesn't matter if it's in a white country, a black country, an Asian country, a Spanish country, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what type of system that people are under, capitalist, communist, socialist, whatever, right? When you have a group of people that have absolute power and authority and they cannot be challenged, they cannot be questioned, they cannot be investigated, unfortunately, that automatically leads to them becoming corrupt. It's a part of human nature. We're all sinners. So given absolute power and no authority, no checks and balances, people abuse their authority. It happens all the time, under all circumstances, all over the world. So everything that is controlling the masses of people, it needs to have transparency in order to prevent that. Mind control tactics exposed. Television. Okay? We sit back, we watch TV, we go into a deep state of meditation. Hey, virtuous. We go into a deep state of meditation when we sit down and watch TV, watch movies, listen to music. We turn off our thought process and we just allow whatever's coming through to just come through. All right? Group psychology, manipulating the masses. China's thought transformation camps. CIA mind control. Did the CIA try to control people's minds? MK Ultra. There's a ton of videos on YouTube about all of these things. All you got to do is look for it. The CIA murder that exposed MK Ultra. That's what the movie The Manchurian Candidate was about that I just showed you with Denzel Washington. How mind control works. MK Ultra, CIA mind control program, programmed killers for the Communist Party, Japan's mind control killer, Project MK Ultra, the CIA mind controls operation. What commonly held beliefs are a result of propaganda? Propaganda is a way of releasing information that has a biased agenda. Propaganda is never straightforward and honest. So they'll tell you, oh, drink this Tropicana juice, and they'll put a big picture of an orange on the cover. But, if you really pick apart what are the ingredients, maybe it's not 100% oranges, things like that. The way that we receive information on the label would suggest something that we find out later is not true, or we never find out is not true unless we investigate it, unless somebody investigates it. Like when you go to a fast food restaurant, you see the pictures of the food, you think, oh, that looks good, give me that. When you get it, it looks nothing like that. It's false advertising. And people have literally sued fast food restaurants for that same reason. What you gave me and what's in the picture, two different things. At the bottom, it says the media experimented with television hypnosis. And it's super easy to be brainwashed by television because we go into a natural state of we stop thinking and processing and just allow whatever we're seeing to come through. And so people who make TV, they know that and they take advantage of that. The whole purpose for TV being created was for advertising, to sell products. When it first started, it was innocent and harmless products. It was like the reason why soap operas are called soap operas is because they used to sell soap, because most of the people watching soap operas were women. So they wanted to sell dishwashing soap, you know, cleaning products for the house, things that would appeal to women. All right. So the reason TV was even created was to sell things. But like I said, it started off innocent household products. Now we at the point where it's selling demonic codes and signs and symbols and teaching people, you know, the little kids how to dress in a very sexually provocative way, and little boys how to be criminals and gangsters, whether we're talking about gangster rap or we talking about, you know, the different types of characters in movies that are portrayed as the hero are usually the criminals and the villains. And that's the emphasis when it comes to video games. It's like over time, the influence of the media has become more and more and more negative, and they target a younger and younger and younger audience, it seems like every year. So now there's no separation between what is for adults and what is for children. All of the sex, drugs, murder, money, programming is going straight to the little kids now. There are videos on YouTube, the CIA's secret brainwashing experiment, manipulating our emotions, MK Ultra, the CIA's secret pursuit of mind control, CIA's human experiments with mind control, manufacturing propaganda. You see, there's the Freemasonry symbolism, the pyramids, the one-eye symbol, the G, the square and compass. Okay? The science of spying from 1965. Should we trust the media? Mind forward. Your brain. Who's in control? Who's in control of your brain? It's quick and easy to say, I'm in control of myself. I'm in control of my own brain. But at the same time, if you consume in mass media, if you're on social media, you're definitely receiving programming messages. How brands are influencing your decisions. Brands, the more money they make, the more time that they have to come up with strategies, you know. So a big corporation like a McDonald's, for example, they make so much money. They have all of the time and the money in the world to conduct research and studies on how to manipulate people into buying McDonald's. I haven't had McDonald's in so long. I don't even know when's the last time I had it, but I could say that it's not food and it doesn't taste as good as food that I can cook at home. We all know that. All of our parents have said that to us multiple times. We can make better food at home. Why do people continue to eat McDonald's? Because they have worked on the marketing, the advertising, the coloring of their logo, of their packaging. It's a whole psyop. It's a whole psychological operation based on marketing research and strategy. That's what keeps people going to McDonald's. Okay? It's not the taste of the food, it's the marketing and the programming that has been put into making McDonald's important. Right? So here's a video. It says neuro marketing, how brands are manipulating. And look, they use the example of McDonald's. Okay? Neuro marketing, that means brain, studying the brain. Neurology is the study of the brain. So they are studying human psychology, and those are the tactics and strategies that's being used to get people in there. Dark persuasion, okay? Mission mind control, 1973. And then again, I guess somebody else did a mission mind control from 1979. A former CIA operative reveals the media's agenda. Okay, freedom of choice, how the government controls, how our lives are dictated, psychological tricks. What is mass formation? Are we being hypnotized? The phenomenon of mass formation. When I hear mass formation right now, the first thing that comes to mind for me is Beyonce. That's like something that's constantly, I don't know if she says it or if she has a song or what, but that's where her whole beehive like theme is, mass formation, right? 25 facts, the mind control in hip hop. All right, 25 facts, the Illuminati, mind control in hip hop. And so I was saying a little bit earlier how music, the frequency has been changed from a 432 hertz tuning of the instruments that are used in live music and recordings internationally. Basically, they changed it from a natural resonance of 432 hertz to 440 hertz, which has been found to create antisocial behavior in humans. And so, just as I was saying, Beyonce is part of this whole mass formation beehive, mental control over people type of movement that supports her music, even though it's not good. Her husband, Jay-Z, he has, I think, a restaurant called 4040, which is a nod to the whole 440 music hertz change. And I think he has something with like a 440 in it. I don't know if it's the name of one of his songs or whatever, because I stopped listening to them a long time ago. But both Beyonce and Jay-Z, they're at the top of the music game, right? Even though their music isn't as good as it was when they first started, over time, all artists' music decline. They start out making hits, and then over time it gets boring, and then people just support them because they're fans. But when it comes to Jay-Z and Beyonce, there's evidence of them using all of this type of hypnotic language, symbolism, and imagery in their music, in their videos, in the clothes that they wear. They're constantly pushing agendas. And this is the reason why they're allowed to so-called remain at the top, even though their music isn't all that. All right, some more content you can find on YouTube to free your mind by educating yourself. Programming the Nation, 97% owned. The CIA on time travel in the holographic reality. CIA spy on mind games, World War III, China and Russia. Inside the CIA on company business. The Minds of Men, official documentary. Here's something that people need to be paying attention to if they're really, let me look at the comments here. The movie, Loyal One says, the movie, they clone Tyrone. There's a part where the scientists in the clone lab play rap music, having two clones fight, then switch to nice soft music. The clones stopped fighting and started hugging. Thank you, Loyal One, for your comment. That's exactly what I was just talking about. Secret Service makes you wonder. Exactly, Loyal One. Anytime it's a secret, there's a problem. That means that somebody's up to no good. Even if originally you wanted to start it to be a secret for good reason, just that level of power and control of having a secret among a group of people, because we're all sinners, none of us is goody, 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 none of us is perfect, right? There's something about human nature. Once you have a secret group, they start doing bad stuff. They support each other in doing bad stuff, and they don't stop. They just get worse and worse and worse. And I'm gonna show you guys some evidence of that towards the end of this video. Virtuous, hey, she said, I hate it. The whole little girl section for little girls over the summer had belly shorts. No matter where you shop, ages 5 to 10 years old, belly shirts. Exactly, Virtuous. I've been collecting information for a long period of time. I have like a lot of different folders in my phone of screenshots that I take as I come across information. And I've been making a folder of screenshots on the how bad children are being done by Hollywood, like in a sexual way. So I'll do a video on that soon. It really bothers me. I wish I didn't have to talk about these things, but people don't know. And so they just going along, and no one's standing up and protesting and saying this is absolutely wrong. When I was a kid, what was for adults and what was for children was very separate. Everything across the board. Clothes, TV shows, movies, everything was very well like informed. This is for adults, this is for children. Now, everything is just out in the open for everybody, and it's having a very bad effect very quickly on society. Pablo Escobar said, "What if McDonald's is a form of MK Ultra?" To be honest with you, Pablo, the last time I went into a McDonald's, I went to use the bathroom. I was with a friend in a car. We were driving for a long time. I said, let me run to the bathroom at McDonald's. When I went in there, all I heard was like beep, 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 beep. And I didn't smell any food. Now, there was people in line waiting for their food. It was like 3 lines. And I didn't smell any food. There's never a time that I have cooked in my home and I didn't smell food. You smell the onions. You smell, even if you warm some food up in the oven or the microwave or on the stove top, you know your food is ready because you smell it. You're like, oh, let me get my food. So to go into a McDonald's and it's very crowded and they're cooking, but all you hear is beep, 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 and you don't smell no food. That's a laboratory. I was like, Virtuous. It's a 444 album. And thank you, because I was having a hard time remembering that. And if Jay-Z has a 444 album, that's what it's about. He's basically saying, haha, this music is designed to make you antisocial. And I'm participating in it. He's laughing in our faces to even make an album called 444. Virtuous said, I appreciate that type of content, so I'll be tuned in. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. These things are so important. Like, I make content that really deals with things that really affect you long term, that really affect your life, So I hope that people do appreciate it and do pay attention to it, because all of us, we are all so under all of this brainwash programming that when I start talking the truth, that's what upsets people, turns them off, offends them, and they start fighting me. And that's exactly what happened in that movie I showed you at the beginning of my live, They Live. When the man found the sunglasses that enabled him to see all the subliminal programming in society, he tried to put them on his friend. He was like, look, all of this bad stuff is happening and nobody knows because they can't see without these glasses. When he tried to put the sunglasses on his friend in that movie, hey, Shell, yes, They Live. When he tried to put the sunglasses on his friend, they fought for like 5 to 10 minutes straight. That's one of the things that I hate but love about that movie, because I only watched it once. But the fight scene between him and his friend was so long. I was like, okay, we get it. But that's the reality of life. I'm sitting here telling people all of this stuff to help them. And they're fighting me down. They fight me down. Every day. I'm going to show you guys some stuff in this video. People fighting me. Like, why? You're upholding like the slavery of humanity. That's what you're fighting for. I'm over here saying, hey, if we don't wake up and pay attention to these things and put 2 and 2 together, it's going to be too late. And then everybody's going to be like, oh, how did we get into this situation? Oh, we let it happen because we didn't do anything to stop it when we had the opportunity to do so. Okay. All right, guys. So if you're big on social media, or if you have teenagers or children, you might want to check out these videos. The true cost of Instagram fame, the social media beauty cult, TikTok, eating disorders, racism, censorship, teens, social media, and technology. Loyal One says they have cognitive dissonance, truth in your face, and you ignore. Exactly. And what makes me so upset is that these things are very harmful and hurtful, like to find out that Since 1953, they've been tuning music to a frequency that causes people to be antisocial. So there's a lot of fighting, arguing, and discord, chaos. And it's not even the fault of the people that are being chaotic. Like they're just under the control of this music, you know? So it's like the harm. It's not even just that, oh, well, we have free will, we have freedom of choice, we can listen to this music or that music. All of the music that's coming through the mainstream is under that antisocial frequency. So we don't have a choice, you know? So if this stuff wasn't harmful, I wouldn't say anything, right? Because we all make bad decisions. Some people smoke cigarettes, some people eat candy, some people have unprotected sex. Like people do stuff on their own free will that's harmful and toxic. But there's some things that we're being forced, that's being forced on us, that's actually hurting us. All right. So if you guys are into social media or have teens, this is a little more stuff for you guys to check out on YouTube. Teens, social media, and technology. Follow me, the truth about social media, the science of teenage brains, social media dangers documentary. What are deep fake videos? Everybody needs to look into this on YouTube. There's a lot of videos on it. What are deep fake videos? We all need to look into this because it can happen to you, it can happen to me, but they mostly do it with celebrities. It's just completely 100% artificial intelligence generated videos that they will take a picture of someone and they'll add an artificial mouth to the image, and they'll make it look like the head, the mouth, the eyes are moving, saying a whole lot of stuff, and that person never said it. That's extremely dangerous. You would never want to be a regular person and get accused of some bad behavior and it's not true, and then they can just play a deep fake video of you looking like your head and your mouth are moving, saying you're a horrible, terrible person. And it's not true. This is so dangerous. Okay? Fake. Search for truth in the age of misinformation. All right? So, again, these are the type of things that we need to be watching on YouTube. I watch a lot of documentaries, I read a lot of articles to try to stay on top as much as I can on what's going on, because not knowing is, it leaves you vulnerable to being a victim of bad people. As I've said in plenty of my videos, narcissistic personality is the same thing as a demonic spirit. It's this whole idea that one person is more important than everybody else and better than everybody else, and everyone should bow down and worship them. That's crazy. That's insane, right? But unfortunately, people who have narcissistic personality disorders, which also include sociopaths, psychopaths, they tend to force themselves into positions of authority and leadership over other people. So because of that, people who head countries, corporations, tend to be people with bad personality disorders. And then they wind up abusing everybody underneath them. The business or the corporation could be doing good business just on its own. You could be selling socks. Okay, no problem there. But if a narcissist makes their way into the CEO position, they're going to make everybody work longer, pay them less. They're going to rise the price of the socks, buy them from China. It's like everything's going to go bad because a narcissistic person is a parasite, and it's a demonic spirit that never, changes for the better. Let me check the comments. Okay. Shell says, do you think the R&B soul music back then was being tuned like Aretha Franklin, Etta James? Well, Shell, when I read the description of the change, it says it goes back to 1953, and that it was suggested by the International Sounds Organization. So it goes back to 1953. So sometime after 1953, so Aretha and Etta came after them. Now, on the other hand, Shell, Aretha and Etta James and people in their era, James Brown, everybody in their era, Barry White, they traveled, with their own bands. So they had the singers and the musicians. right? So it's possible that they did not tune their instruments to that 440 frequency. However, when it came to them recording their albums in studios that were owned by these huge corporations, Sony and Motown and all of these big, big, big corporations, by the time their music got put on wax, the tune could have been changed. But in terms of the artists that you're speaking of, the era that you're speaking of, Shell, they used to travel with their own bands that play their own live instruments behind them. So it's possible like live music may not be on that. Like I heard that Prince was against it, that Prince literally spoke out against it. And that Prince said that all of his music was tuned to the 432 hertz. And that might be a reason why Prince's music is still popular to this day, because people feel that positive energy as compared to the 440 hertz tuning of the other artists. 144 Kalak says, definitely enjoy your videos and the knowledge that you drop. Thank you so much. I'm here to help. I cannot sit here and know all of this stuff is happening and people are being attacked every day, all day from every direction and not say nothing. Like, that makes me crazy. Like, do you guys not see this? Ah, trust me. I'm like, ah, every day I'm freaking out. But I also, I just fall back on my relationship with God, and that's what keeps me sane. If it wasn't for a relationship with God, I would be crazy. I would be so crazy right now. Like, you guys don't see this, wake up. Ah, I'd be a crazy person outside screaming at everybody. Okay. So basically, when you have like people in positions of authority, control, power over large groups of people, and they start to be manipulative in how they treat the people that they control, it's called a psyop, a psychological operations or psychological warfare. Simply learning everything about your target enemy, their beliefs, likes, dislikes, strengths, weaknesses, and vulnerabilities. Below that, it says psyop, psychological operations. That's what psyops is a acronym for. Psychological operations officer. GoArmy.com. Learn about the job of an Army psychological operations officer as well as the populace. So basically, the military runs psyops. Now, if you look this up online, which I already did, they will tell you that the Army only runs, well, I'm in America, so they will, because I have viewers around the world. So shout out to all of my viewers that are outside of America. All governments all over the world run psyops. This is not just an American phenomenon. Okay, so basically, they learn everything about what they consider to be their enemy, and then they use that information to manipulate the enemy into doing things that they want the enemy to do. This is usually carried out when there's some type of military action, some violent interactions between two different armies. This is one of the tactics that's used to get the upper hand on the enemy. The problem is they're using the same tactics and strategies against the general public in the form of mass media, advertising, marketing, movies, fast food, social media, and distractions. And so, using psyops to control the general public, they're treating us like the enemy. It's a form of con artistry, because if they treat us like the enemy, the goal then of the corporation or the government or the cult leader who's using psychological operations against you, using your strengths and weaknesses and knowledge of your likes and dislikes against you as a weapon, it's a form of con artistry. A con artist is a person who defrauds or swindles others after first gaining their trust, a scam operator. It says at the bottom, the meaning of a con artist is a person who tricks other people in order to get their money. And that's the bottom line, right? the type of marketing and research that's done in order for, the fast food corporations to stay popular is not done to make people healthier, to make people smarter, to make people feel more empowered and more alive, right? Because if you eat a lot of fresh raw foods, like a lot of salads and, fruits and vegetables, you feel alive, you feel empowered, you feel happy, you just feel like a natural high, right? So the goal of the fast food restaurant is to say, oh, don't worry about feeling a natural high. Just eat whatever I feed you because this is what makes me money. So when you have somebody who's motivated by personal selfish interests, all of their morality goes out the window and they become a con artist. They're just tricking you to get your money. Con artists make money through deception, lying, cheating, and fooling people into believing they have found a great deal or easy money. They often prey on people's trust and their propensity for believing what they wish was true, especially with get-rich-quick schemes and individuals' desire for a quick buck. Con artists perfect a total lack of conscience and use a sudden manufactured crisis or change of events to force the victim to act or make a decision immediately, which is the point at which the con succeeds or fails. They also use confidence tricks, such as pulling in front of the victim, slowing down, and slamming onto the brakes to avoid the shill, causing the victim to rear end the con artist. Con artists are professional storytellers and can be found in various forms. So they gave a lot of different examples of how con artists operate in real life. Get rich quick schemes. I did a playlist on Brother Polite as well as a video called Brother Polite Exposed. He's now, he was accused of SAing a minor, a teenage girl, who was his girlfriend's daughter. He is expected to turn himself in to prison within a month or two, a couple of months. And I did a playlist on him of how many people have exposed him over the past 10 years. There's 10 years worth of YouTube videos exposing Brother Polite as a con artist. Now, before he had the SA allegations, he, like, all of the stuff was him promising people get rich quick schemes. And people were sending him a lot of money because I don't know why, they just believed in him because he posted pictures on social media standing in front of luxury cars and posing with like groups of women, like he's some kind of polygamous player. And people took seeing him with women in cars as proof that he was really wealthy. And so he kept making up stories that if you send him money, he'll flip it real quick. And people were sending him lots and lots of money. This has been going on for 10 years. The only thing that is, well, it hasn't stopped him. Since he's had the case with abusing a minor, he still continues to make up schemes of telling people they can get rich quick and they're still sending him money. And then after they don't get anything back from him, he ignores their calls and he ghosts them after he gets their money. Then they some of them have made videos exposing him that I sent him money and I never got anything in return, and he will not answer my calls nor give me a refund. Right? So that's one way. Trying to make people make a decision immediately, like hurry up, buy now. Like all different type of persuasion tactics that try to rush you into making a decision to get your money. All right. The bottom, it talks about people doing insurance fraud, how people create fake car accidents just to pull off insurance fraud. So someone will pull up in front of you in your car and then they'll slam on their brakes, which causes you to ram into their back. And then it looks like you just rammed into their back for no reason. Right? So this is all different, examples of how con artists work. And it's important to understand that because it happens from the highest levels to the lowest levels. It really comes down to the spirit that's inside of people. People are selfish, they're greedy, and they will hurt anyone. They don't care who they hurt or how bad they hurt them, as long as they can get a come up 9 times out of 10 financially. Hey, Kimberly, thanks for joining. Project MK was a covert CIA mind control and chemical interrogation research program that began in 1953 and was halted in 1973. See, that 1953 is very interesting because that's the same year that the international music standard was changed from the healthy, natural 432 hertz to 440 hertz, which makes people feel antisocial. So 1953 seems to be the year when people who were very deep into occult studies, demonology, seems to be 1953 seems to be the year in America where the demonologists started to take over positions that affected the masses of people, that demonic narcissistic spirit. It says it was intended to develop procedures and identify drugs that could be used during interrogations to weaken people and force confessions through brainwashing and psychological torture. The program used numerous methods to manipulate its subjects' mental states and brain functions, such as the covert administration of high doses of psychoactive drugs, electroshocks, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, isolation, verbal and sexual abuse, and other forms of torture. The program was created and run by a chemist named Sidney Gottlieb, who was charged with developing a mind control drug that could be weaponized against enemies. The program was first brought to public attention in 1975 by the United States. All right, so 22 years after it was formed, it was brought to public awareness, right? But look at what they did. They developed and experimented on people, right? Using all types of drugs, mind-altering substances, electroshocks, literally shocking people, hypnosis, verbal and sexual abuse. Okay? Are y'all hearing this? The CIA used verbal and sexual abuse as part of a research program. A research program giving people mind-altering drugs, sexually abusing them, shocking them with electricity, just for experiments, just for research, just to find out like what is the most effective method of interrogating someone. So if they suspect that somebody is like, I don't know, a spy in the United States, they catch them, they'll sexually abuse them, electrocute them, and give them drugs to try to figure out, tell us what you know. This is insane. This is crazy. You would not want to be that person that they catch and do all of these things too. And it's been going on since 1953. So that means that over time, they've developed it. They've gotten smarter. They've learned some things, and they still continuing to use strategies to interrogate people. The CIA's secret quest for mind control, torture, LSD, and poison. For example, Nazi doctors had conducted extensive experiments with mescaline at the concentration camp. Mescaline is a mind-altering drug. The CIA's appalling human experiments with mind control. MK Ultra's mind control experiments generally centered around behavior modification, electroshock therapy, hypnosis, polygraphs, radiation, and a variety of drugs, toxins, and chemicals. MK Ultra's secret CIA program, including enforced drug experiments on unwitting humans, mainly U.S. citizens, in hospitals and psychiatric institutions. So some of the victims that they experimented on were just random U.S. citizens, and a lot who were in hospitals and psychiatric institutions. Okay? 3 weeks ago, this article came out on Wikipedia, or someone wrote this on Wikipedia. The aim was to find drugs that would bring out deep confessions or wipe a subject's mind clean and program them as a robot agent. Military personnel who received the mind-altering drugs were also threatened with court martials if they told anyone about the experiments. This is why I mentioned the movie Manchurian Candidate at the beginning of this video. That movie, the one with Denzel in it, you will see exactly what this statement is saying, portrayed in that movie. Denzel Washington's character, his memory was wiped when he was in the military so that he could be programmed to be a hitman and an assassin on a moment's notice to become a robot agent. All right. It says at the bottom, in the 50s and the 60s, it was the center of the US government's darkest experiments. In 1954, a prison doctor in Kentucky isolated 7 black inmates and fed them double, triple, and quadruple doses of LSD for 77 days straight. No one knows what became of the victims. Okay? LSD is a mind-altering substance that makes people have hallucinations, visions, colors. They see things that aren't there. They hear things that aren't there. It completely just affects the mind in a psychoactive way. And unfortunately, in the 50s, the US government experimented on black men for 77 days straight. And we have no idea what happened to those people, those black men. During the 1950s, the CIA sponsored a series of hallucinogenic drug experiments at a Harvard-affiliated teaching hospital to study the effects of LSD on students from Harvard and other Boston area university. The experiments centered around behavior modification via electroshock therapy, hypnosis, polygraphs, radiation, a variety of drugs, toxins, and chemicals. These experiments relied on a range of test subjects, some who freely volunteered, some who volunteered under coercion, and some who had absolutely no idea they were involved in a sweeping defense research program. Henry Alexander Murray, an American psychologist at Harvard University, conducted a series of psychologically damaging and purposefully abusive experiments on minors and undergraduate students from 1959 to 1962. One of those students was Ted Kaczynski, later known as the Unabomber, who participated in a Harvard experiment on psychological control subsidized by the CIA and known in turn as MK Ultra. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear what I just said? The Unabomber guy was trained under the mind control programs that was conducted by the CIA at Harvard University. Shell says crisis actor. Yeah, crisis actor, but way more than a crisis actor. This goes back to the movie Manchurian Candidate and the reason why the CIA keeps testing these mind control experiments on the general public to figure out how they can turn people into killers on a moment's notice. I'm surprised that this is even on Google, that they even would admit, and that the Unabomber was one such test subject that was run at Harvard. And it's important. I want you guys to remember, because everything I'm saying in this video from the beginning to the middle to the end is all connected. It all adds up, right? Because I'm going to show you the type of mind control that Jaguar is under. And one of them is a program that was developed at Harvard as well. So it all adds up. Okay. I don't do clickbait like these other people. They tell you one thing in the title, you click on there, and it's not what they said it's about. Everything I say in my title, I show you in my video. But some things I have to show you the history so you have an idea of how this has progressed to get to the level it's at now. It's easy to sit back and say, oh, Jaguar Wright is crazy and she's doing all this and doing all that. But when we add up all of these factors, it all adds up. Her father was in the military. Jaguar said that her father was experimented on or treated so bad in the military. She said they messed him up so bad that her mother still got a pension for him even after he died. Like, she still gets money for her father being in the military because that's how bad the military was responsible for messing him up psychologically. Jaguar Wright said that her father would just destroy the house, just tear everything up, you know? And the only way like they would know that the house wasn't robbed, because usually if you come home and your house is upside down, you would think you've been robbed. They would know they weren't robbed because nothing was missing. The house was just destroyed. Okay, and that's the result of him being in the military. Okay, we've heard stories. We know people in real life, after they come out of the military, they're psychologically damaged. They're very antisocial, right? Very prone to violence. Men who were in the police forces are known to be very violent, go home and beat their wives. It's like this mind control that they're put under so that they will be mindless robots ready to kill on a moment's notice. It doesn't turn off when they go home. They stay under this type of deeply ingrained programming. And who knows what happens to them because they've been working on perfecting how to wipe out people's memories for 50 years or more. All right. So somebody had put a comment under one of these mind control videos when I was watching one of the documentaries I mentioned to you guys earlier. And they were saying that LSD was given out to people of all kinds all over the world as part of the MK Ultra mind control experiments. So they were saying that that is a fact that is documented. He was reputed to be personal friends with and even possibly or probably dosed the Pope. Nobody denies that Al Hubbard was deeply involved with the CIA. And as this video shows, he was also deeply involved with Timothy Leary, as were other figures who were either connected to the CIA or actual agents. I don't see why people choose to deny these facts. It's well documented that MK Ultra was definitely being utilized as an experimental program at Harvard University. And it was Henry Murray that recruited Timothy Leary and Richard Alpert into the program. Alpert was soon fired from Harvard University for giving LSD to undergraduates. Leary was never fired from Harvard, but chose to resign out of protest. He was probably pressured by the CIA to resign, but nobody will even know exactly what took place there. Timothy Leary was in fact a military man and was a student at West Point before being expelled or dropping out. So Timothy Leary, and there's another guy whose name I can't remember right now, because I've been watching so many of these documentaries. I wish I could remember his name. Oh, I think his name is William McKenna. There are certain people on YouTube that have cult-like followings, C-U-L-T followings. People just, even though these people are dead and gone, like thousands and thousands of people still watch all of their content and they praise them and give them so much praise and honor because they talk about psychedelic drugs, LSD, ayahuasca, mushrooms, frog poisons. It's a huge, I want to say genre, but I guess on YouTube it would be called a sector. There's a huge sector of people who promote psychedelic drugs on YouTube. The problem is they have no idea the history of these things. And they have no idea that the biggest voices that promote these things to the masses are people who were in the CIA and people who graduated from Harvard University. So they just enjoying, loving, and praising, this whole poisonous, idea. If you guys, ever watch TV shows or movies that portray the 70s, the thing is, people were coming into awareness of fighting back against government control of humans. like government control that's trying to make humans into slaves. And the way that those movements were quieted and stomped out by the US government and governments all over the world was through the hippie movement of the 70s. In the 60s, all type of people were rebelling. White people, black people, Asian people, Hispanic people, all over the world, people were rebelling in the 60s, rebelling against government control. So the 70s came out, the music, the movies and the television shows, everything that was like popular in the 70s was designed to counteract the movements of people that were against the government in the 60s. So it was about free love, a whole lot of drugs. That's when cocaine and heroin became popular. It was about pimps and hoes and, um, you know, the way you dressed and music and just hanging out and coming up with philosophies that everything was cool, man. It's groovy. Just pretending that everything was fine and there was no problem. Just get high, have sex, and, be degenerate, right? So this is what I mean when I tell you guys all of this stuff is connected. All of this stuff is related. The movies, the music, all of this stuff is being controlled and connected by some extremely narcissistic, controlling, demonic forces. And as time has gone on, we've seen a perpetuation of those negative stereotypes in music and movies to the point where now we're in the 2000s and we have absolutely no control over the youth. Someone made a comment. They said, we'll know our disinformation program is complete when everything the American public believes is false. And this is a quote by William Casey, CIA director, first staff meeting in 1981. All right. So like I told you guys at the beginning of the video, the CIA has a very high level of security clearance to where the government can't even check them or control them. So if one of their directors would say in his first staff meeting, we'll know our disinformation program is complete when everything the American public believes is false. And this is the leader of an organization that has more authority than the US government to carry out psyops, international as well as domestic military operations. And they have an agenda to disinform the public. So this disinformation runs rampant. There's all of this false information that's put out into the American public. And people who have narcissistic personality disorders, who want to start corporations or lead corporations or start cults, have little groups to make people worship them, they take these strategies and ideas and they implement them into what is called groupthink. So once they learn a few techniques and strategies of psychological manipulation, persuasion, or violent means of manipulating and persuading people, verbally abusing them, sexually abusing them, all type of stuff. Groupthink is a psychological phenomenon that occurs when a group of individuals reaches a consensus without critical reasoning or evaluation of the consequences or alternatives. It is a cognitive bias that encourages people to desire harmony or conformity within a group, leading to irrational or dysfunctional decision-making outcomes. Groupthink may be fueled by a particular agenda or due to group members valuing harmony and coherence above critical thought. It is a deterioration of mental efficiency, reality testing, and moral judgment that results from in-group pressures. Groupthink often occurs when there is a time constraint and individuals put aside personal doubts so a project can move forward. So groupthink basically is when you have a group of people. They may be brought together by the fact they all work for the same company. They may be a group because they all belong to the same church. A group can be a gang. It could be a negative association. It could be a positive association. But once those people form that group, their loyalty to each other goes above and beyond the morality that they have about what's right and wrong in general as individuals. Exactly, Shell. Similar to peer pressure or being a follower. That's exactly what groupthink is. And so it makes people act in a harmonious fashion, whether it's right or wrong. One of the ways that groupthink is perpetuated on the public is through celebrities. I don't even know who this is. It looks like an old picture of Madonna, but it says MK Ultra, and it looks like she's wearing a jacket that has a pyramid on it, and it says Novus Ordo Seclorum, which means New World Order. Okay, guys, so I'm sure you guys have heard that term, New World Order. These words were said on television by George Bush Sr., not the junior, but the senior. He talked about a New World Order on television. And that's why I pointed out it's very interesting how in 1953, that's when they changed the music from harmonious to antisocial. And when they introduced MK Ultra experiments on the general public, mind control. Why? All of this is different strategies of how they're going to bring about the New World Order. We're either going to convince you through mass media, or we'll drug you, torture you, electrocute you, sexually and verbally abuse you into it. One way or another, their intention is to program you by any means necessary so that you will behave and spend your money in a fashion that they want you to. That's why you have all of these celebrities whose music is not good, but they continue to be treated as if their music is good. And they're at the top of the red carpets and the A-list celebrity programs and shows, and they get pushed and promoted all over the TV, the radio, and the movies. Got Beyonce doing the pyramid hand sign, Kesha with the one eye symbol, Christina Aguilera with the one eye symbol, Lady Gaga with the one eye symbol. And that all relates to what we see on the back of the $1 bill, Novus Ordo Seclorum, New World Order, with the pyramid, the one eye symbol, and the sunlight. Okay, and the sunlight is a reference to the devil. Satan is considered to be an angel of light. To people who are into the secret societies, they believe that the devil is the light. That's what they believe. Okay, whatever. MK Ultra, CIA, mind control. You see Beyonce with the butterfly, the monarch butterfly. The monarch is a program that is like a later, new and improved version of mind control by the CIA. So when you see celebrities like Beyonce and other celebrities, Mariah Carey, a whole bunch of them wearing the butterflies, especially the monarch butterfly, that's to let you know that they're under one of the MK Ultra programs. Taylor Swift, probably the most popular pop music artist for the past 20 years. She's doing the one eye symbol. Okay. So the reason why these people are pushed and pumped and held up in front of everybody is because they're pushing an agenda, not because their music is so good and everyone's buying it and listening to it. So someone made a comment under my last video. They said, "Peace, Leilani," and they posted a link to somebody named Sarak. I clicked on the link. It was to a song. The name of the song was "The End of the World." The song was not good. It was not good music. I clicked on the artist's profile. I clicked on the different links, like their community, their store, and stuff like that. And I found an image of this celebrity. Hey, Amberlance. I found the image of the celebrity doing the one eye symbol. So I replied to this person's comment. I said, "That's a devil worshiper doing the one-eyed symbol on her community post. So what are you doing to support my content about God? Are you sharing my links? Are you joining my Patreon to expose criminals stalking innocent people on YouTube?" You know, I really didn't understand why this person thought it was the right thing to do. This is whose link she posted on my page. This person wearing the black and red, which is the Illuminati symbol for blood on blood on the floor, which means human sacrifice. Why would she post a link to this person's music on my page? And the name of the song is The End of the World. It's like people are so brainwashed by this demonic music and entertainment that they would think, she thinks she's doing me a favor. Peace, Leilani, and post this person link on my page. You're not supporting me. You're supporting the devil. You're not supporting God. You're supporting the devil. Okay? This is how brainwashed people are. Out of everything that I said in that video, that person did not have any comment about the video and all of the information I gave in the video. The spirit inside of that person said, let me use this as an opportunity to promote the work of the devil on Leilani for God's page. She didn't say anything about the video. Good video. I appreciate it. I enjoyed it. I understood it. I appreciate your research, your hard work. The video was about exposing Trees World, Sean Davy Way, Official King Payne, and the Black women supporting them. She says nothing about that. Instead, this is where she want to redirect, distract, and take me to. A person wearing a red and black human sacrifice shirt doing the one-eye symbol. I don't get it. Here's another example of groupthink, but that's an example of groupthink. This person completely ignored all of the horrible, terrible things that I talked about in that video. She completely ignored it and promoted a whole nother devil puppet agenda. And that's what I was talking about when I was exposing the fact that World News, his Beam team has left. They broke up and left him. And I was talking in that video about how all of these different YouTubers are intertwined with each other. They support each other. They help each other run lies and scripts and scams on the general public of people who's watching the content just so that they can make money. So one of these groups of people that was on YouTube just raising hell, stalking, doxing, harassing, cursing people out, releasing people's nudes, hacking into people's bank accounts, email addresses. They knew people's travel arrangements. When people would say they leaving from one state to go to another, the source of content under World News' Beam team was to track, stalk, dox, and harass innocent people. They were telling you, oh, they're about to leave from this state and go to that state. And here's where they're going to be staying. And here's everything around where they're staying. It was way too much tracking and stalking of innocent people. This is called invasion of privacy, and it's against the law. But because they had a big team of people calling themselves the Beam Team on World News Channel, doing this every day for years, the groupthink got so bad that people are harassing me for exposing it. This lady, Z Giselle, she left the Beam team. So I made a list and I said Giselle, Swirl Gang, 3 Easy, Michelle Fletcher, Raz King, Gemini Goddess Essence. And there were some other people, Isaac and other people whose names I can't remember right now. I said that the Beam team broke up because 2 weeks before I made this video, they stopped showing up on his panels every day. He has not had a panel since. It's been like a month at this point. From the time I made the video exposing that they broke up till now, it's been about a month. You have not seen any of these people on his panel, and you don't see them in his comment section, but they were on his panel and in his comment section every single day for the past year or longer, supporting, stalking, doxing, harassing, cursing out, contacting people's friends and family on various forms of social media, calling people's jobs and trying to get them fired, people who've done nothing to any of them. Exactly, 144 Kalak. It's gang stalking. That's what World News does. He gang stalks people. And he's made videos saying that he hacks into people's Facebooks, and he explained how he does it. He made a video saying that he knows how to put Trojans on people's phones and look at them through their own front-with-facing camera. He released nudes on 2 Black female YouTubers that sent him money. One of them sent him the nudes that he released on her. And the other one, she didn't send him the nudes. He was tracking her. He somehow hacked into her cell phone and her front-facing camera. So the fact that he was able to do that, it goes to show, and he has been arrested 91 times before he even got on YouTube. right? He's been on YouTube for 10 years. He never got a job. He never got a trade. He never got a CDL truck driving license. He got on YouTube and started stalking, doxing, harassing, and releasing nudes and hacking bank accounts on innocent, harmless, mostly Black women on YouTube. And he's been doing this for years, for at least like 5 years. He started in the Kanika Jenkins sector. He moved on to the Nature Boy sector. Then he started harassing young Pharaoh. Then he was harassing Jaguar for the longest time. Now him and Jaguar are cool. They're talking about linking up. All of this stuff is connected. All of these people is doing the work of the devil. None of these people is doing anything productive with their time or anything helpful or healthy on the general public. They are assisting the government in running psyops, psychological warfare on the general public. World having been in jail and having been arrested 91 times. As I've said before in my previous videos exposing world news, he's the perfect candidate to be used by the government as an enemy against the people. Jaguar Wright, having been in the music industry for as long as she was, perfect candidate to be used as a puppet against the masses of people. And that's what they're out here doing, running psyops. So I asked the question, why does Kulu live stream and ignore all the YouTube women that have taken legal action against World? And I made a list of them. Giselle, the T, Crenshaw, St. LaShawn Dawn, and myself. When I exposed World News, one of his members, Raz King, who's no longer even affiliated with World, he left comments. Raz King left comments under my page, under my video exposing World News, telling me, bitch, you gonna get your ass whooped. Threatening me with physical harm because I exposed World News for stalking, doxing, harassing all type of innocent Black women all over the internet. He operates on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch. Okay? He's had at least 10 of his YouTube pages deleted off of YouTube, but he continues to be on YouTube when after you get so many pages deleted, you're not supposed to be able to make new pages. And even now, a couple of days ago, he's still talking about he's about to make more new pages. And I've showed you guys all of this in previous videos that I did exposing world news. 144 says he could be a YouTube CIA agent. Yeah, I made a video that says YouTube police, world news, and Kulu Live. The amount of stalking, doxing, gang stalking that they have done and gotten away with is amazing. Like at least 3 different women have protective orders against world news just on YouTube alone. Imagine how many women he's stalking, doxing, contacting all their friends and families and their contacts on their social media, on other social medias. Imagine how many people he's doing this to on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, where all the kids are, Twitch, where all the kids are. He probably contacting them little kids, them young girls. Oh, I'm going to stalk you, dox you, harass you. Look, I got pictures of you, your camera phone. I can see what you're doing. Even when you don't know I'm watching you. Send me money. Who knows what he's doing to people on other platforms? He said out of his own mouth that if you ever contact him, he starts keeping a file on you. So he starts tracking, doxing, stalking, harassing you. You don't have to do nothing to him. So how is it that he keeps forming all of these groups of people that call themselves Beam Team? He's had at least 3 different groups that have broken up with him. This is like the 3rd group. Every year they break up because they realize, like I told y'all before, this sick, narcissistic, demonic spirit does not change for the better. It only gets worse. So even as he forms a Beam Team, he's so verbally and financially abusive to those people who tend to be Black women that it takes them a long time for them to wake up and realize this guy is a sick, demented, criminally insane, demonic spirit, and they stop dealing with him. He usually flips out on them for weird reasons, things that don't make sense because he's criminally insane. Right? So the question is, why are people drawn to him? Why does he keep forming Beam Teams? They keep leaving him, but he continues to be on YouTube. Why aren't these people taking every action step possible to get him removed off of all social media? He's done enough to be removed from all social media. I said, why does Kulu live streaming ignore all the ex-Beam Team members who got attacked by World, including Z Giselle, 8 with the 24, Saint LaShawn, Goddess Sekhmet, Soul Energy, God Mama, Divine from Bigo. When I made this list, these are all people who have their own content. Some of them, most of them, almost all of these people, except for one, have made their own content exposing what a criminally insane person World News is, right? Why do people who still deal with him ignore all of this stuff? Why do they ignore it? Female YouTubers harassed by World, Jaguar Wright, DJ Genesis, Velvet and her associates, Sweet Ma, Simply Anna, Clyde Diva, Messi, Asante Wa, Fundi Fee, Jazzy, Ashe Divine, All About the Trees, etc. So I made a playlist. It has 229 videos about World News being exposed by more than 100 YouTubers. How does anybody who still associates themselves with World News ignore all of that? But what happens to me, the YouTuber who exposes all of this type of stuff? Here goes somebody talking about, leave them folks alone. They did rock with her until she did what she did, period. I guess they're talking about Jaguar Wright. So I replied to that person, they are running fake scripts for money. So you must be a demonic spirit too, because they expose a whole lot of people and you said nothing to them. You see? So how is it possible that I should leave people alone and don't expose them, but the people that I'm exposing, they expose other people? It's okay for them to break the law, stalk, dox, harass, release people's nudes, phone numbers, addresses, real names, everything. It's okay for them to gang stalk people. But if I expose that they're gang stalking, I'm told to leave them alone. Here goes someone who says, where are you getting this from? The majority of what you're saying is incorrect. Stop. So I said to them in reply, so you okay with World stalking, doxing, and having several female YouTubers with protective orders against him? What do you think about the people who left comments here explaining why they left Beam Team? Which things are you against that World does? Only a demonic spirit could support that man. How is this person telling me the majority of what I'm saying is incorrect when there's a playlist? That's why I made the playlist that has 229 videos in it. I only have maybe 3 or 4 videos out of that 229. So what about the other 225 videos? What about the fact that those videos go back 5 years or more? What about the fact that World News has lost 10 YouTube channels or more by now? How I don't understand these retarded people. This person leaves me another comment. They said cussing people and you forgot. You have a lot of time on your hands to create your content is all about World. Beam Team did not break up. Get your facts straight. I have heard you cussing, judging people, and you call yourself for God, hypocrite. So I replied to the person, World does all of that over there, but y'all work for the devil, so it's okay, right? So she sits up and supports World and cursing people out, making content. She says, I have a lot of times on my hands to create content all about World. Obviously, my channel is not all about World. That's number one. Number two, World News' videos go up to 10 hours long, and he makes content every day. His videos are 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, up to 10 hours long. But this retarded person tells me I have time on my hand to create content about him. But she's okay with him doing 10 and 11-hour videos about innocent Black people minding their business. And he's releasing all of their private information to the internet, contacting all of their friends and family, calling all of their jobs. He sent Genesis a picture of her backyard to show her that he can get that close to her house or use other demonic spirits like his to get that close to her house. All of that's okay with this person, but she has a problem with me calling it out. I'm a hypocrite for exposing that this guy is a criminally insane demonic spirit. So here's one of the Beam Team idiots, a Black woman, of course, who, exactly, loyal one, they're hypocrites and bullies, and they're mad at me for exposing it. I'm supposed to shut up and be quiet because my name is for God. Oh, but it's okay for y'all to do all of that over there because y'all work for the devil. So here comes this retarded black female, Michelle Fletcher, right? And if you ever heard her voice, she sounds mentally off, like completely insane. That's the only way she could sit over there with Beam Team for the past year. Here she goes under my video exposing world news. She says, the news channels are investigative reporters, so they have a team of people that have boots on the ground to interview and be on top of reporting what is happening around the globe. No one calls it stalking, paparazzi. No one calls it stalking or a cult because that is how we find out about the latest information. However, when World does investigative reporting and has a team of people with boots on the ground to interview or get footage, just like any other news reporter, it's evil. Ha 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 ha. You guys are slow and dumb, reaching for content much. And when he says God, he means he is your God, man, because you eat, breathe, and sleep King World. Talking about him has made you a coin in even views. Therefore, he is your God. There are wicked things, kids missing, getting snatched up, and this is your best content? Shaking my head. See, I've been trying real hard to stop calling people stupid, dumb, deaf, blind, and retarded. But this person, Michelle Fletcher, this is a stupid, dumb, deaf, blind, and retarded idiot. A demonic spirit from the pit of hell. What kind of retarded, dumb bitch would sit there? She sits on World News Panel for the past year. His videos go from 4 hours all the way to 11 hours long. He stalks people, doxes them, shows their home address, calls their jobs and try to get them fired. He goes on all of their social media pages, contacts all of their friends and families and try to get interviews with them. He calls people repeatedly on Instagram over and over again. He called the T over and over again on her Instagram. He called DJ Genesis over and over again on her Instagram. Oh, come over here and explain yourself. Nobody owes him an explanation for shit. Who the fuck is he? A deadbeat dad, a bum with no job, living off of a woman, doing basically what is invasion of privacy to people on the internet, mostly black women. And then you have this retarded, ugly black woman sitting here telling me that he's my God because that talking about him made me a coin in even views. Look, you stupid, retarded bitch. I have not made a fucking penny off of World News. My channel is not monetized. The most money I've made off this channel for 1 year, if you go from whatever this is, August, from last August till now, I have received a total of less than $50 in donations. This year of 2023, I have received about how much? Let me see. 30, 10 is 40. Another 10 is like 25. I've received $65 in donations for the whole of this year of 2023. So for this retarded bitch to sit here and say I've received coins and views, my channel is not about me. My channel is about informing people so that they can recognize spiritual warfare, so they can recognize that they're being manipulated, taken advantage of by other people on YouTube who's lying to them, using God and using the Bible to lie to people. My channel is about other people. Everything on my channel, I already know. So I don't make content for myself. When I tell you guys to like the content, to share it and subscribe, that's to help y'all get the information to break free from all the devil programming, all the lying, manipulative narcissists that's trying to take advantage of y'all. Shell, if you would like to donate, my PayPal is my email address, leilaniforgod@gmail.com. My Cash App is $Leilani And I've just started a Patreon page with 3 levels. People could join for $5 a month, $7 a month, or $10 a month. And that money is going to work to building a committee, a group of people, not just me, a bunch of us to work together to take down predators off the internet. Okay? So if people want to donate to me, my Cash App is $Leilani. My PayPal is leilaniforgod@gmail.com. And I have a Patreon for those people who want to be part of the committee that we all work together to take down internet predators. World News is only one. There's many others. We could just keep it rolling. Just keep taking them down one by one, one by one, one by one. We have our meetings. We have our conversations. Who is doing what? Is it harmful? Is it illegal? Is it damaging? Is it traumatizing? Is it gang stalking? And we work together to take them down. Whether we do petitions, whether we each individually write letters or emails, complaints, flagging, content on various social media platforms, we have to do something. Yes, it's all lowercase. It's all lowercase, show. I'll show it at the end of the video because I don't want to lose my place and confuse people. But also it's in my what is it called? If you look at my comment section after I post the video, I always pin in the comment section my PayPal and Cash App information, and I always show it at the end of the video. Because even if you can't be a part of the committee to help us take down internet predators, just by donating, you're helping me. I need to get a laptop. I make all my stuff on my cell phone because it's quick and easy, but my laptop is like from 2014. So it gets really hot, it goes really slow. It's just hard to make content on it, right? But I do want to improve and change the way I do stuff to make it look better because I know that will encourage more people to watch. I understand that a lot of people don't want to watch my content because I make it on my cell phone. So it looks like small screen, So I want to do it widescreen. Like, I'm aware of all of these things, but all of this stuff costs money. And I'm doing all of this stuff alone, and I deal with all these attacks every day from these stupid, retarded people that accuse me of what they're doing. Oh my goodness. I can't believe this woman had the nerve to try to act like what they're doing over there, the Beam team that she's a part of, that what they're doing is the equivalent of news reporting and paparazzi. That is just crazy. It's not news reporting and it's not paparazzi. It's actually hurting people and traumatizing them and scaring them, and they're innocent and they're not even criminals like world news. Here goes Michelle Fletcher, this retarded dumb bitch again. She says, when the news reporters reach out to people, call their phone for an exclusive interview for their side of what is being reported about them, why do we not look at it the same way then? Does he need teleprompters, a suit on sitting in front of a desk like the typical news reporter for you to get it? Ha ha ha. This bitch is retarded as fuck. I don't even know what else to say. This is a sick, demonic, twisted spirit, just like her god, World News. She sat over there for 11 hours every day for the past year, letting World News brainwash her into bullying other black women, and she thinks it's okay. She thinks it's okay for them. They followed Velvet around, recorded audio and video on Velvet in her home with her kids, and they played it on their YouTube, on World's YouTube channel for content. And Michelle Fletcher thinks that's what the news does, and that's what the paparazzi does. The news does not do that, you stupid, evil, wicked witch. You fucking retard. I hope World drags you down to hell right where you belong with him. You deserve to burn in hell, you stupid retard, if you think that's normal and comparable to what the nightly news does. Here goes this retarded bitch again. 3 comments she's leaving me defending World because she's part of the Beam team. She says, this is like reporting on why someone stopped watching News 11 Live. Weird as fuck. In her imagination, I'm weird for exposing, stalking, doxing, harassing, and releasing people's nudes. I'm weird for exposing World, for releasing nudes on black female YouTubers who sent him thousands of dollars. I'm weird. So I replied to her, it's weird as fuck that you condone his abuse of black women. You are sick. Miss Meat, this is another lady who sat on Beam Team for the past 3 years, condoning all of World's horrendous behavior. This is an older woman who's married. She even has a video from 2 months ago. The raw shit y'all forgot about. The work king World y'all forgot about. So she's praising World News. And she's been sitting on his panel for years, watching him stalk, dox, harass, curse women out. He's cursed out people on other people's platforms. He cursed people out on Perry's platform. He cursed people out on Tree's platform. He went over there and cursed her out. Wherever he goes, he cannot control himself. He is a sick, demented, disgusting, angry, toxic individual. And the fact that these people support him, these black women, these women are older. They're not young. Okay? These women are older than me. Miss Me is older than me. Michelle Fletcher looks and sounds older than me. But yet, he's getting support from these old ass black women. He tells them they have to send him money to keep their wrenches. So they send him money. If they don't, if all the people on Beam Team, they have to constantly send him money. If they don't, he cursed them out. So, like I showed you how mind control and groupthink works, part of the tactics is verbal abuse. It's like they work for the devil, they get tortured by the devil, and they stay working for the devil. And they just keep doing it. I mean, these women are old. They're old enough to know there's something wrong with the world. They're old enough to know, yeah, Shell, she's married. Or she says she's married. Okay. So it's like, how are they able to sit there as, I mean, just life experience? They're old enough to know that someone is mean, rude, someone is infringing on other people's privacy. You know, the scripture says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. They're doing stuff to other people that they would never want done to themselves. You mean to tell me any one of those Beam Team members, Michelle Fletcher, you mean to tell me she would appreciate it if I started looking into her social media, contacting whoever her friends and family are on Instagram, Facebook, and calling them up and saying, do you know what Michelle Fletcher is doing on Beam Team for the past year? She's been supporting this guy, World News. He's been arrested 91 times. He's released nudes on female YouTubers. He shows where people are traveling from one state to the next. Even they don't know how he got into their emails, how he hacked the emails to get their travel itinerary plans. If I was to contact, would Michelle Fletcher want me to contact her friends and family and tell them what she does on social media, following behind World News, who's been arrested 91 times, has not had a job in 10 years, even though he has kids? So you mean to tell me none of these things, these women don't see none of this. They don't see that he's a deadbeat dad. They don't see that he harasses and stalks black women. They don't see that he's, I mean, like, I don't get it. So I made my playlist, World News Exposed. It has 228 videos in it. As of this point, you guys are doing very good. I should put down the phone and clap for y'all. It's y'all who've been watching my content. Y'all been in this playlist and sharing it. Share my World News Exposed playlist on all of your social media, because World News is operating on YouTube, Instagram, what else? Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube. World is talking about making more pages on YouTube. So we need everybody to be aware that this is a very sick predator. He says that he keeps files on anyone that contacts him on social media. He said that he can hack into Facebook. He has shown people's travel arrangements, and those people, many people have came on YouTube and said that World hacked their emails. He has admitted that he can hack into your cell phone. And like I said, he's released nudes. Everybody needs to be aware of this guy. Anybody make the mistake and try to befriend him, the women who send him money is the women whose nudes he released. And both of those women are black female YouTubers. One of them took him to court and all of that. Crenshaw. It's on YouTube. I mean, it's on Google, the court paperwork against World, between World and Crenshaw. All right. So I'm saying all of this to say, I don't mean to repeat myself, but I just want you guys to understand how bad this person is. This is the person that we need to work together to get off of social media. Who knows what he is doing to those young girls over on TikTok and Twitch? If he's doing all of this and mind controlling all of these old, retarded black women, imagine what he's doing to the younger kids on the other social medias. I made a playlist called Healed Childhood Trauma. As far as I'm concerned, the reason why people are this bad on social media is because they have unhealed childhood trauma. Since my last video, this one was at, I think, 6,722 views, my World News Exposed playlist. So in the past few days, you guys have gotten another 171, if my math is correct. This playlist have gotten more than 170 views. So I'm assuming that means that you guys are sharing. Very good. Keep sharing. In the past 3 days, only 6 people looked at the Healed Childhood Trauma playlist. If you feel sad, uncomfortable, if you feel like you grew up with bad parents and it just put a dark cloud over your life, this playlist is for you, to help you just start to heal and understand what happened, how you process it with your child mind, and now how you can process with an adult mind so that you can start to heal and you don't have to like turn into somebody like World News, because every time men have told World News that they were coming to kick his ass, he'd start crying and he tells them he was a crack baby and his mother used to sell him for crack, right? So that's why people haven't beat him up really bad, the men, because he says, I'm a crack baby. So he needs to go to therapy and get healing. So check out this woman who's supporting World. Yvette, her name shows up as Yvette 1968. 1968 means this woman is 32 plus this is 23, that's 55. This woman is 55 years old, all right? She also go by the name Yavate on YouTube. She came under my video exposing King Pain and Sean Davy Way for exploiting black women, particularly Jaguar. This woman is 55 years old. She says to me, but you are the same person that said Beam Team broke up, and that was never the truth. I know no one gets it right 100% of the time, but that Beam Team accusation was a flat out lie. So I replied to her, you are the liar. A couple of ex-members put comments under my last video explaining why they left. You are also a woman who supports that demon World like an idiot. How much money have you sent him for his habit? So here goes another retarded black retard, okay? She's 55 years old. She's telling me I'm lying when I said Beam Team broke up. First of all, I wasn't lying. I showed and proved that the Beam Team broke up. Second of all, a bunch of people left comments under the video where they said, this is why I left Beam Team. Okay, so there's people proving that they did leave Beam Team. I listed the names and showed where you could find the videos of people who have left Beam Team on YouTube. Okay, so I showed the proof that people have left Beam Team 3 different times. Every year, he loses a big group of people. So I showed and proved what I had to say. But this retarded idiot wants to come and say I'm lying under a video that's not about World News. This video is about King Pain and Sean Davy Way exploiting black women. Why didn't she address what the video was about? You see, these are the retarded black women who hold up black men or men in general that's being destructive, being psychopaths, sociopaths, con artists. These are the retarded women who hold them up. She was born in 1968 and she's calling me a liar with all of the proof that I've shown. Under a video that's not even about what she's talking about. That's a demonic spirit. All right. So for her to be 55 years old and can't see all the proof I showed, and she sits up, she's one of the people that's always in World's audience. So she sits through those 11-hour lives that World does bashing other black women. Right? So here she goes under a video talking bad about Jaguar, the same 55-year-old woman who supports World News. She says Jag definitely has a drug problem. So when money is flying through her hands, that is why. And then at the bottom, she says, you may ask, how does she keep so much weight on her if she's using psych meds? It has the potential to add weight to a person. So this retarded lady who's trying to fight me for exposing World and call me a liar says that you could tell that Jag has a drug problem. Look at the kind of pictures World News posts of himself on his own page. How come that 55-year-old retarded black woman doesn't see that World has a drug problem? And that's probably part of the reason why he hollers and screams and curses black women out, stalks, doxes, harasses them, and follows them all over social media. So he can get views and clicks and coins from retarded black women like Yvette, 1968, also known as Javate, and Michelle Fletcher. This is where their money's going, that they send to World. But she could recognize that Jag has a drug problem. Make that make sense. This is what I mean. These people are retarded. But that's what happens when you have a demonic spirit. It makes you dumb, deaf, and blind. So under the video where one of the videos I exposed World, he left me some comments trying to troll me, talking about, you don't know who the Beam Team members are. Leilani forgot, broke up, ha 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 ha. Beam Team broke up, LOL. Right? So World comes over to my page and tries to troll me, saying that I don't know who all the Beam Team members are, so I can't say that they broke up. And he's just laughing. So he puts Beam Team broke up, LOL. Now, mind you, I not only wrote, I did a whole video saying that World is stalking, doxing, harassing innocent black women who've never done anything to him. that he's criminally insane. You notice he doesn't address any of that. He doesn't say, it's not true. I don't do that. That's not who I am. I'm not a bad person. I'm not criminally insane. He doesn't address any of that. All he wants to say is, Beam Team broke up, LOL. So I replied to him. I said, did Kulu get a visit from the police? Did you dox Giselle on your platform? Do you agree with Raz King threatening me with violence over my free speech? Why do you do things to others that you don't want done to yourself? Over talking, yelling, stalking, on and offline, contacting and exposing friends and families, insulting people's appearance, demanding interviews under threat of exposure, exposing addresses, jobs, landmarks, locations, and travel plans, etc. What did he reply to me? Broke up. Ha 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 ha. So I replied to him, this is the third group of people that left Beam Team. Okay? So I asked him straight up, why are you doing all of this stuff to people that you would never want done to you? Because he's a bum. He has nothing to lose. He has nothing to gain. He has nothing. He lives off of a woman. Who knows how bad he's abusing her? This is how he behaves on the internet. So he does all of this criminal stuff to other people. And when you ask him about it, he just keeps putting laughing emojis. This is a criminally insane psychopath. So if Beam Team didn't break up, according to him, and according to his retarded black female minions, which is obvious that they did break up, because like I said, it's been a month. He has not had no panels. So I go to his page. I click on his link since he's laughing, trying to act like I'm lying on him that Beam Team broke up. He's saying, I don't know who they all are. I know who all the people that have been sitting on your panel for the past year, because y'all all was on each other panels for a whole year, every day, all day. What does King World put on his community wall? You all are welcome. I just don't have mods on my channel anymore. This is after he laughed and tried to act like I was lying that Beam Team broke up. If they didn't break up, why do you not have mods on your channel anymore? I just don't have mods on my channel anymore. As far as moderator, I can handle this by myself. Okay? So if they didn't break up, why did you get rid of all of your mods and take away all of their wrenches? Supposedly, that's how he was making most of his money, forcing the Beam Team to have to send him a certain amount of money every week or every month to keep their wrenches. At the bottom, he says, I might finish the stream about sassy later. We haven't forgot about the cult or gayro. Who is World to call somebody gayro when he has a whole video in my World News Exposed playlist where he's ranking different men who got breast implants and butt injections? World News made a list of 5 men who have body enhancements bent over showing their fake butts, and World ranks their butts in order 1 to 5 of who he would feel most comfortable having sex with. So why is World out here making content calling somebody gay when we have no information like we have on World that other person is gay? We have no knowledge that Pharaoh is gay. Pharaoh have 2 baby mothers, and he's been with a whole bunch of women, cheating on them, before them, during them, and after them. Okay? We could say a lot of things about Pharaoh, but we have no proof that he's gay, like we have the video of World News ranking the butts of men. Okay? But this is the things that these old black women are over there giving World News money for and supporting. He can be a homosexual and call other people gay, but if you call him gay, he's just not going to answer the question. Someone said to me, I'm going to check out the link you sent me. I remember one time World showed the video where he pulled up to Nature Boy's house. So I replied to her or them. I said, yeah, but World was very civil when he pulled up and wasn't being the bully he is towards harmless black women. And the person replied to me and said, you're so right about that. Quiet as a mouse. Okay? So when World News is confronted by men, he's very civil, he's very humble, he's very quiet. When World News is on his mental ill, demonic possession, which is every day of his life, he's stalking, doxing, harassing, releasing nudes, hacking emails, bank accounts on black women. He don't do none of that when it comes to black men, though. He find all the time in the world to harass black women who've done nothing to him. Someone left a comment for me, Yoda Bless. She says, as far as world, he's a punk, a keyboard gangster. People like myself don't care to step on his platform because we see his ability to go into someone's account and take out their assets. I said, good thing you took action to protect yourself. No one should be on YouTube who has so many victims. Here goes a world news penis eater, Big Franco Wallace. Couldn't type out the lie correctly, killing myself laughing. So he's harassing the person who wrote the comment that world news can hack into people's assets. And she had to make changes in her account to prevent world news from doing some type of corrupt activity. So this guy comes just to harass her and says, oh, you couldn't even type out the lie correctly. How does he know this person is lying on world news? He's just defending world news, who does all these horrible, terrible things online. But because world news targets black women, all of these people are okay with it. So I replied to him. I said, you support world having several orders of protections against him from female YouTubers? So for everyone who's interested in working together to get predators off of social media, I have made a post on my community wall. I said, happy Sabbath. If you're serious about getting sociopaths, psychopaths, and other criminal demonic spirits off of YouTube and other platforms, join my Patreon ASAP. It's time to take action. Patreon.com/Leilani for God. $5, $7, and $10 tiers. So before that, I had made a community post with a survey. I said, I'm going live in a few minutes to expose some things. Should I expose trees or should I expose everyone? 81 votes, 70% said expose everyone. And to tell you the truth, guys, I got some stories I could tell y'all. These YouTubers in the Jaguar Wright sector, they're frauds, they're phonies, they're fakes, and they're liars. I have reached out to almost all of them to say, let's work together to get world news off of this app, and nobody wants to work with me. Now, I don't know. Maybe people don't like me. Maybe I'm abrasive, I'm rude, I'm rough, I'm strong, I'm very, aggressive. I get it. I can understand some people don't like me. That's number one. Number two, some people, they're scared. They're simply scared. They're like, wow, he can stalk, dox, harass, hack emails, hack finances, release nudes. Some people are scared, right? So it have nothing to do with me and how people feel about my personality. Some people are just scared. And then for the most part, people are just so brainwashed by mass media programming that they don't even have the desire or the passion or the humanity or the love in their heart to stand up and fight for what's right. A lot of times, the reason why I'm rude and I'm harsh and I'm abrupt is because I'm standing up for what's right. So if you're fighting against me, you're standing up for what's wrong. Okay? And so people use that against me. Oh, Leilani is mean. Leilani is arrogant. Leilani is self-righteous. Leilani is judgmental. I understand everything people say about me. They say I'm arrogant, I'm shady, and I have temper tantrums. Okay, granted, let's say all of that is true. You see, I didn't fall on the floor and cry. It's okay if people make criticisms of me. I'm not going to die. I have worked to become a better person. I have calmed down significantly. I've stopped yelling and screaming and cursing people out and stuff like that. I have worked on myself. I've apologized to a lot of YouTubers and stuff like that. But when I say to them, all of that stuff is really petty. None of us fell out over anything serious. There's no money stolen. Ain't nobody steal your husband or your wife. I didn't touch nobody. I just made criticisms that made people upset. And I've apologized to a lot of people for that. But what happens is when I'm saying let's work together to get world off the platform, they make every little petty excuse and reason that they don't want to do it. There are people that I have not had any falling outs with that I said, this is what we need to do. And they will agree with me and they make promises and they don't keep it. What they do is They create arguments. If I'm being nice and calm and polite, then they're the ones who create a fake argument with me in order to, so that they don't have to be responsible for working with me to get world off of YouTube. A lot of people have done that to me, have created arguments with me and just started yelling and cursing and screaming and going off about something that's not clear. And I'm like, okay, well, let's get to the bottom of it. But they don't want to get to the bottom of it. I'm like, okay, I accept that you went off on me. You cursed me out. You the one screaming and yelling, being crazy. I accept it. What's really at the bottom of this problem? They don't never want to resolve. They want to keep the problem. And I realize what that is. Because once we resolve the problem, then we're back to work. Let's get world news off of YouTube. They don't want that. They don't want to do any work. I have talked to people directly that have been victims of world or that have made content exposing world. I said, let's work together to get him off the platform. They said, okay. We talked on the phone 2-3 hours. And you know what they did? They went back to, they just want to build their own individual platform. All they care about is they self and their own selfish interests. There's a lot of people like that. Y'all would be surprised. Y'all would be surprised if I told y'all the name of YouTubers that I said, let's work together to take world down. And they said, I just want to work on my own thing. Male and female YouTubers in the Jaguar sector. All they want to do is they only care about themselves. You'll be surprised. There's a lot of people that people put in my comment section. They'll be like, oh, I like you and I like this one and I like that one. And I tell them, thank you for your support. I heart their comment and then I delete it because they have no idea what phonies, liars, fakers, and frauds those other people are. All right? They steal my talking points. Every time I make videos and I talk about this, that, and the third, they run to their platform and repeat me. There's a lot of people that I have coached, given free life coaching. I charge $20 an hour for life coaching. I've given it to a lot of content creators for free. They go on their platform, they repeat all of the things I told them that made them feel better, and they try to use it as their own content to make their audience feel like they're smart. There's a bunch of them, male and female content creators that have duplicated my content. And you know what? If people join my Patreon, I'm going to tell y'all. I'm going to tell y'all by name because it's my story. It's my experience. I'm going to name the names of the YouTubers that's fake, phony, fraud, lying, who I specifically said, let's work together to take world news down. And I'm going to tell you all the fake moves they pulled so they don't have to work with me. Now, if you don't want to work with me, none of them have said to me, Leilani, I don't like you. You're mean. Nobody has told me why they don't want to work with me. Right? So I could at least say, oh, you know what? I apologize. I could work on that. I could tone it down. I could turn it down a few notches. No one has given me the opportunity to say why they don't want to work with me. That's number one. Like I said, I've apologized to a bunch of people. I apologized to like 10 people. 3 people took their apology. The other ones ignored it. But they continue to make all of this retarded, ratchet content every day about Jaguar Wright. They don't want to move to a resolution because that's the end of them getting clicks, views, and money for doing the devil content. That's why they don't want to move to a resolution, right? And then if you don't want to work with me because you don't like me or you just don't believe in God, which a lot of these people don't, which is understandable, that's your choice. Why aren't they working together to get world news off of social media? Forget me. Leave Leilani in the dust. We don't like her. She's mean. Okay, understandable. Why are they not working together to get world off of YouTube? Let me tell you how long ago I told all of these different YouTubers we need to get world off of YouTube. When I made my very first video about world 4 months ago, I told like 20, 30, 40, 50 YouTubers we need to work together to get world off of YouTube. I ain't heard from none of them. And ain't none of them work together to get world off of YouTube. And a lot of them are his victims too. All right. So I'm going to talk about it on Patreon. I'm not going to talk about it on YouTube, because it's just going to result in those people's minions coming to attack my channel as if I'm lying, when these people are all, you could look at the difference between my content and their content, and you could tell who's really real, who's really for the people, and who's just a whole lot of talk, a lot of loud, screaming, yelling, cursing, everything that they hold against me. Oh, you get loud and you be screaming and yelling and cursing people out. They do it a million times worse than me, but they hold it against me, right? But the bottom line is they're not doing any community activity. There's no give back. All their content is about is what they could take away from you. Take your time, take your attention for their clicks and views, and take your money. They only care about themselves and their own selfish interests. Especially any YouTuber that's calling themselves, they stand up for black women and they a black woman advocate. Look and see if it's true. It's not true, but look and see for yourself. These are the main people lying. And then you have a bunch of black women up under them like, oh yeah, girl, you so smart, you so beautiful, you so funny. Meanwhile, these people done stole my talking points, done used all my content to enrich themselves because they're monetized and lie about being for the people. Anyway, y'all wouldn't believe it, but I'm a spill of beans on Patreon. All right. For people who's really serious about working together to take down predators off of social media, I'm going to tell y'all the 100% complete truth. Because these people on this YouTube, they don't deserve me sitting here telling the whole complete truth because they're not going to have my back when their minions start attacking me for telling the truth. So someone left me a comment under my post that I made saying, join my Patreon if you want to work together to take predators off of social media. And like I said, world news is just one example. There's so many predators on social media. And before world, there were a bunch of predators before him, and there will be more after him. So world news is just one example, a very easy, obvious example that we can make a list. Here's all of the behaviors that we don't want on social media. We don't want people to threaten other people with physical harm just for giving their free speech. We don't want people to be stalked. We don't want them to be called a million times on Instagram, on their personal cell phones or their jobs. We don't want people to be harassed. We don't want people's addresses and nudes to be leaked. Like, we need to make a list of, we don't want this to happen on social media because we wouldn't want it to happen to ourselves. And then whoever is doing those behaviors, we work together. We do petition, change.org. We write emails to whatever social media platform that they're functioning on. We contact PayPal. We contact Green, whatever that is, Cash App. We contact all of the ways in which they're making money off of bashing, destroying, and traumatizing black women or other innocent people who have nothing to do with, that these people are being gang stalking them. We contact all of the ways in which these people have platforms and demand that they remove them based on the proof that we have that their behavior has crossed the line into violations of privacy, breaking the law, and traumatizing innocent people. We make a list. What behaviors we don't want. When we see people do it, we take action, period. Once we do this enough times, then of course the movement is going to blow up. All of the fake, phony, lying people that never wanted to get down with me from the beginning, then they're going to want to join. Then they're going to want to be a part. And that's why it's important that I tell you guys exactly who these people are that I have reached out to and tried to ask them to help, and they've ignored me. Because these are the very people who make money and get clicks and views because their audiences believe that they are for the people. It's a lot. Y'all going to be surprised. It's all of them. They're all fake, phony liars. Okay, period. All of them. Okay, let's just start there. But I could name specific names of people I reached out to, and some of them cursed me out, and because I pressed them, because I said, don't you say on your platform that you stand for black women? One of these retards cursed me out. It's a prostitute. She cursed me out for pressing her, that she claims she stand for black women and she don't. So anyway, how do you stand up? How do you sign up for the Patreon? It's patreon.com/Leilani for God. So you can Google Patreon Leilani for God. I'm going to post the link in the comment section down below. After this video is posted, I'll be able to put the link there. And the link is already on my community post wall. So if you're subscribed to me, you have access to my community post. And Redbone, it's funny you're here. Your comment is on the screen. I'm not mad at you, Redbone, but I'm going to read the comment and I'm going to explain myself because I know I'll be very aggressive. I don't want you to be scared. I just want people to understand where I'm coming from because I'm very serious about it. If we even have a small group of people on Patreon that we could start just doing petitions and writing emails, we could make a lot of progress. It don't take a lot. Like, I'm not asking you to meet me in public in a real place and fly and spend money on a hotel. No, we just make a plan and we carry it out. But the numbers, it's the numbers of people that carry it out that's going to make us successful. All right. So the Patreon link is posted, and it's also patreon.com/Leilani for God. There are three tiers: $5, $7, $10. $5 are the community meetings. That's where I will post information on what type of con artists and psychopaths are operating on social media. And then you guys can talk to me either live or in the comments and be like, yeah, we should take action on this one. And the second tier is $7. That's where I'll be doing Black History lectures. The first one I'm going to do is about the first president of the United States was a Black man. So I'll be talking about that. I'll be talking about Black women in history that we never heard about that have huge, huge, huge successes. We've had so many millionaires and billionaire Black people. It's crazy in America. So I'll be doing Black History lectures on the $7 tier. And on the $10 tier is for people that want to be like the board members, people who really are interested in taking this movement to another level, to where we start a website, to where we start documenting and tracking a whole bunch of criminal, sadistic predators, stalkers online and start really exposing them and make it a big deal. So there's three tiers. And thank you, Virtuous. Oh, Redbone, what you done did? Okay, let's talk about a Redbone. So Redbone left me a comment under my post where I said, "Happy Sabbath. If you're serious about getting sociopaths, psychopaths, and other criminal demonic spirits off of YouTube and other platforms, then join my Patreon ASAP. It's time to take action. 5, 7, and $10 tiers." So Redbone put a comment. She said, "Happy Sabbath to you as well. I'm sending you love, strength." Thank you, Shell. "I'm sending you love, strength, wisdom, encouragement, and knowledge. Always have fun and enjoy your journey through life and keep going to the top. Peace, goddess." So I replied to Redbone, our lady sister who's in the comments right now. It's funny you popped up right on time. I love that when that happens. This happened a couple of times that I've been doing my live and I was talking about somebody and they popped up. I love it because I like to be direct to people to their face. I don't like to be behind people's back. So I replied to Redbone. I said, "We need people to participate," and I put that in capital letters, "in getting these predators off social media platforms. Men, women, and children are being stalked, doxxed, harassed, threatened, phone calls and texts, families contacted, violent threats, home visits, news leaked, bank accounts hacked, emails hacked, locations exposed, travel plans exposed. What are we going to do about this? These people make, these evil people make money from their audience and other YouTubers in their network who all work together and promote each other to break the law and infringe on innocent people's right to privacy." So Redbone, did I bite your head off in my reply? Because now I'm reading it, I feel like maybe I was being a little strong with you. Do you feel like I bit your head off or I was too harsh on you? You there, Redbone? Let me know. Yes, we got to work together because it's sad. Exactly. So I just wanted to clarify. It's not that I don't appreciate you giving me support in the words. I'm really at a point because I've been talking about this problem with world news for 4 months. So I'm at a point where I'm like, we have to do something. We have to stop talking and we have to start doing. Even if all we can do is do petitions and send a whole bunch of emails, there's strength in numbers. We can document all of our attempts to reach out to these different social media platforms and payment platforms to get rid of these people, put them on a website or something. So everything is documented and tracked that look how hard Black women are being abused online. And look at all of these corporations and financial systems that's allowing this to continue. And to be honest with you, if you change out, Black woman and you put in Jew or you put in gay person, all of the stuff that World News is doing, he would have been shut down a long time ago if he was doing that shit to Jewish people. He would have been shut a long time ago if he was doing that shit to gay people. So how come as Black women not receiving the same level of protection from online abuse as the white people and the gay people? What? After all that Black women have done for everybody? Like, don't get me started. So I was for some reason this song came to my mind, this old song by Drew Hill. what is it called? Promise. It's like, I never make a promise that I can't keep. That ain't me. For some reason, that song came in my head. So I looked on YouTube. I said, let me hear the song because I don't know. It's just an old memory. And I just wanted to hear the song or whatever. And I was listening to the song and I was reading the comments, and somebody posted this comment under that song, and the lyrics was playing. It says, I'm a man of my word. For you, I'm always concerned that you'll never be hurt, is for better or worse, right? So, someone said, oh, somebody wrote a comment. They said, and until all the black men on earth can sing this song from their heart and mean it, only then will we be the most powerful beings on the face of this earth once again. Wink. So somebody replied to him. They said, you never lied. You are so right. We're going to be there one day soon. So I'm out here fighting world news. Before world news, I was putting up the fight against all other type of men on YouTube that's scamming people out of money, putting black women down, talking about chopping black women's heads off. I've been out here exposing all of this stuff for the whole time I've had a channel. And I get most of my support from black women. I'm like, where are the black men? And why aren't people shutting these people's channels down? I don't understand why it's allowed to continue. And to be honest with you, I do feel like black men should be responsible for this. I don't mind getting out here exposing and showing the proof, but I feel like there should be more support. Okay, Redbone, I'm glad that you're not offended that I wasn't too hard on you. Redbone says, I've been dealing with it for years, seeing women get disrespected one after the next. That's why I'm saying, Redbone, we need a committee. We need a committee that keeps rolling. Hey, Genesis, I'm glad you're here. I hope you join my Patreon, Genesis, okay? Because I'm really trying to get a committee of people. And Genesis was, listen. I could never be Genesis, okay? If they did me like they did Genesis, y'all would be like, Leilani is crazy, because I would have cursed them out so bad. I would have cursed out 100 million people, way more people than I did. Genesis went on these different black men's platforms and she was like, these people are lying on me. I'm trying to clear my name. And they all turned on her. They all cursed her out, and even the black women. And Genesis know what I'm talking about. When I say Genesis, I don't know if you was here a few minutes ago, Genesis, but I told them, I said, I've pressed a black woman who claims to be for black women. I pressed her to stand up for black women to work with me, and she cursed me out. And Genesis know who I'm talking about. Genesis, I'm gonna expose that hoe on Patreon. I'm gonna tell a story. I'm glad that you was a witness, because people would not believe me if I just told it. So I'm glad there's a witness. But anyway, the point is, all of these mostly black men and some black women went and cursed Genesis out, dragged her name, called her all type of bad words, and she didn't do anything to them. They're just in this demonic spirit of attacking black women. It's so easy for them to just attack black women. And that's what we need to put it into. We need to have the same exact protection standards on social media for black women that the Jewish people get, that the gay people get, that the white people get. You go off and go crazy and start following and tracking those type of people and see if they whole communities don't attack you. So we need our own committee that's going to stand up against all of this stuff. Okay. Shell says black women have always been the front line of the fight. That's absolutely true. We always get out there and we fight for every little thing. Animals, children, black men got shot by the police. We get out there and we fight for everybody. Who's fighting for us? Redbone said, my husband had to get on Instagram about him being disrespected, me and others. See, it's across different platforms. Virtuous says, because they be either working with them or not man enough to stand up for black women. Virtuous, what you're saying is 100% true. A lot of black men that should be standing up for black women and they say like they're against world news, I've seen them turn around and then drag other black women like Genesis or Nikki. Black women that's completely harmless. Nikki never lost her temper on social media. Genesis never lost her temper on social media. There's no excuse for none of the dragging that Nikki and Genesis have endured, and they've endured it from black men and black women on the Jaguar Wright sector. Like, a lot of people have dragged both of them, and they did not deserve it. Yeah, Redbone, they all working together trolling people. Exactly. 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 And that's the problem. It's a network. When I tell you guys it's a network, it's the devil's network. Y'all probably think I'm exaggerating. I'm always talking about the devil, the devil, the devil. But what kind of behavior is that as far as they take it? I am shady. I do make jokes on people. I do talk my shit. I'm not going to call your house. I'm not going to visit your house. I'm not going to contact your family on Instagram. I'm going to talk my little shit on my little channel, and I'm going to log off and go eat dinner and go on about my day. I'm not going to follow up by personally attacking you and everybody you know. That's crazy. And that's demonic because you would not want that done to you. So how do you have how can you be like that towards other people? I can't even think like that. It's so sickening. Here's another example of groupthink. This is from the Nature Boy people. Yes, Redbone, leave it on YouTube. Yes, Virtuous. They're workers of the devil and be on demon time. The stuff they do is so destructive, so violent, so scary movie. It's not, it's like you're not even human because where is your human sensitivity that you're hurting other people on a very deep level? Why doesn't that bother you? Right? So here's another example of groupthink, just to take it out of the context of world news. This is about the Nature Boy tribe. Someone put a comment. They said when he said he beat women into seizures, my mind automatically went to all those times we would see what looked like busted lips. All right. So basically, this person is saying that Nature Boy was beating. So people who left Nature Boy's cult, they said that he was beating on those women, and so they would go into seizures. And how many people? There was a lot of people there. There was like 20 people there with Nature Boy, right? And they, all of them, men and women, sit there and watch him beat the crap out of those little skinny women. He only would have little skinny skin and bone women go over there to them foreign countries where he could do all type of crime against them and not be charged because they left the United States, right? But the fact that all of those people sat around and watched him beat those little skinny women to the point where they was having seizures and to the point they was bleeding and could not move. The stories that they told since they left of how bad he was beating on them little tiny skinny women, but they all stood around and watched. Beneath that, somebody says, everybody is saying that Nature Boy killed Baby Love, but I don't think that's what Solar meant. I believe Nature Boy caused Zoka to leave the baby. So they have already admitted, Solar, the child of the father who was stillborn inside of Nature Boy's cult, he has said multiple times, Nature Boy used to force his baby's mother to take multiple shots of liquor throughout her pregnancy. Again, there's at least 20 people that was there in Nature Boy's cult, including the pregnant mother and the expecting father. And they sat there and let him tell them, drink 6 shots of vodka in front of everybody while you're fully pregnant, and they did it. This is the problem with groupthink. This is how bad it gets when you have a group of people, like a cult, like Nature Boy, or like Beam Team under World News. They're doing the most illegal, murderous, criminal activity, and 20 people will stand around and watch and not say and do anything about it. Yes, Redbone, they were drugged too. It's true. One of the things that they talked about in that carbonation Nature Boy cult was ayahuasca. So they were definitely doing mind altering substances. They were definitely smoking what we assumed was weed. Who knows what was mixed in with it? They were definitely drinking a lot. So that is all part of, the control as well, keeping people in an altered state. Someone made a comment about the Nature Boy stuff. They said, I can't believe this BS. Whatever Nature Boy did to his daughter, he sat back and let it fucking happen. Where is the accountability on Solar's behalf? Where was he at when his daughter was being sacrificed? As a mother, I'm livid. Okay? And somebody at the bottom said, are we blaming Zoka also for allowing it? Because a mother is supposed to protect her own child by any means necessary. Right? So not only was Nature Boy so criminally insane that he kept giving her alcohol throughout her pregnancy, but the pregnant woman and the father of the child allowed it to happen. Like, where's your brain? That's your baby. That's your body. This is a comment from a random article I was reading online. The person said the media knows how to propagate who's up next to sell out the masses. Soon she'll get that sponsor money like Pepsi, Coke deals, or some wig company. And the ones that get people wrapped around their fingers and wallets, like the iPhone. iPhone can drop and have the screen made from shit, and you'll still have people lined up for it. Marketing and propaganda is very good at manipulative tactics. Just go watch a show called Mad Men on AMC. They go into details on the exact things I mentioned, going back to the late 40s and 50s. It's a practice and strategy that's still around today. Newport Cigarettes was very successful at it. They were by law banned to advertise to anyone in all other cigarette companies. Doctors in their ads used to say it was good for you. So I'm looking at the comments. Redbone says they were drugged too. Yeah. Virtuous said I couldn't watch that little saga. I saw a small clip of a video and was just turned off and appalled. Definitely had cult-like behavior. Absolutely virtuous. It was so bad. It was sickening. I couldn't watch it either. I could not watch that. Redbone said Aya was putting in folks' food and they didn't know. Look at their eyes. Yeah, it was said that she was putting the psychedelics in the food. Redbone said they locked up Nature Boy and replaced him with Jag. Same script. I have to agree with you, Redbone. Jaguar has said that she wanted to take women out to the forest or to the woods or something like that and start some housing for women. And now she's talking about she wants to do a group home. She was asking for people to donate like $10,000 to invest in her starting a woman's community. I'm telling y'all, let's work together to get predators off of the internet. All of our work will be done online. Okay, we don't have to know each other's real names, each other's real phone numbers. We could use fake names, Google numbers, email addresses. That's not your real name. I don't ever have to know your identity for you to work with me. You will never have to move your location from where you live to someplace that's weird and isolated. As soon as these devil people start talking about moving into the forest and the woods and isolated places, and you sending them all their money so they can buy land, that's when you start to get the red flag. Because look at the people that's making all of these suggestions and proposals. These are not people that are showing no type of positive energy in no other way, in no way. But they always see themselves as leading groups of people into the wilderness. But the reason why I took this is because this comment is because the person was saying that when people get these type of sponsorship deals like Pepsi and Coca-Cola and things like that, that's how you know that they're being promoted to sell out and start to mislead and misdirect the masses. Now we know that Jaguar had a Coca-Cola commercial, right? Back in her day. So she was being, lined up to be a part of the world stage, the script of selling lies and manipulation to people just to keep them in a space of being submissive, passive, docile, and spending money on things that they don't need. So the Night and Day Network, they had a video and someone made a comment. They said, Jag admitted it was a setup for content. Why are you telling lies, brothers? And someone replied to that person and said, that's what I'm saying. And so people upvoted it, like 7 people upvoted it. Night and Day, they put a heart. So they didn't deny lying. They didn't say, we're not lying. They are part of Jaguar's psyop. They're part of the circus. And Night and Day Network is a show or a channel where Black people feel like they're pro-Black and they're for the community. I don't know why people think that. I don't see what they're giving back to the community. Their image is made to extract money from the community. They post clickbait all the time. The title say the video's about this. You click on it. It's not about that. It's just a way to get clicks and views so they can make money for their own personal self-interest. They say they sell Black products. I feel like they're just selling GMO weed. Who knows where they get their weed from? Who knows what they're giving people? They're giving people weed brownies and all type of stuff. Who knows if that stuff is safe, if it's not toxic, if it doesn't have harmful chemicals in it. We don't know. But I know that the reason why they make content is to make money. I don't ever hear them say they're giving a give back to anybody for any reason. right? Then they have the night and day logo, which is Masonic. I would never buy anything from nobody with no Freemasonic images in their logo. These are the people that's selling the poison. These are the people that's running the corporations and the governments that's moving towards a new world order. And that's what their logo is. That night and day is Masonic. And they're not like high level Masons because they're not very smart. They're very dull. But they're low level Masons. They have another channel they made called Esoteric. So they're trying to teach the demonology, which is referred to as esoteric. All right. They made a video on their esoteric channel. They're completely 100% lying on the Bible. Now, if you want to teach demonology and you want to try to be a Freemason, which is devil worshippers, by all means, go ahead and do that. But don't try to drag the Bible into your lies so that you could try to trick and manipulate a third of the world's population that believes in the Bible to flock to your esoteric channel so you could teach them demonology. All right. So night and day got a lot going on over there, but people need to pay attention to the signs and the symbols. If you just look at their logo, you could dead straight give away. These people are devil worshippers. I would never take any food or weed or nothing from them. I would never, because all their money goes to the devil network. Somebody put a comment under one of Jaguar's videos. They said exactly, they hate to see Jag and Tokyo be friends because it's less content for them. Jag is only a check to them. All right. Somebody below that said, let's be real. All parties involved used each other. Sean Davy Way and King Payne had no intentions on helping Jag, but it became a guilty by association situation. Okay. So people are just pointing out that now that Jag is back on YouTube and she's fallen out with Sean Davy Way and Official King Payne, people are recognizing on their own. Even though I made videos exposing it, I don't think these people see my videos. They just was able to remember all of the times where Sean Davy Way and Official King Payne made negative comments about Jaguar. So it's obvious that y'all don't like her. It's all about clicks and views because your platforms are monetized. And that's it. And that's all. It's all business, nothing personal. They perpetuated that Tokyo stole money from Jaguar and broke up that friendship, but there's no proof. It's just hearsay. Right? So it's like they managed to build up their platforms with money, memberships, subscriptions, on YouTube, off YouTube, PayPal's, Cash Apps, all of the times that they did content on Jag, and they're still doing content on her, but they're trying to pass off that Jaguar is a scam artist, and they're not. Someone put a comment under King Payne video saying, anybody who believes this nonsense needs to reevaluate the whole situation. For King Payne to start out saying, let's talk about how Jag wakes up thinking of ways to scam people, then brought Sean Davy Way to say Jag told him she was going to set him up. The person says, come on, y'all. If I'm not mistaken, didn't Jag run her scams through their platforms? Okay. So for Official King Payne to get on his platform now and say, let's talk about how Jag wakes up thinking of ways to scam people. Whose platform has Jaguar been on the most? Official King Payne's. So why is he just now telling us that every day Jag thinks of ways to scam people? Right? Sean Davy Way was used to bring Legina Gold to YouTube. Legina Gold was kicked off of TikTok because she ran that story that she was Aaliyah's child, and people on TikTok researched her and they found her mother and father on her social media pages. And so they banned Legina Gold off of TikTok. So Legina was already busted in court for being a liar. Sean Davy Way brings her to YouTube and rewind and bring back the whole scam that was already debunked on TikTok. Okay. So Sean Davy Way is very much a part of the Jaguar Wright scam as well, knowing that you're telling lies, and they raise money from the audience to get Legina Gold from wherever she was to wherever Jaguar was. Sean Davy Way. Right? So they said, P.S. Peep how Official King Payne said he couldn't believe Jaguar threw him under the bus, but not Sean Davy Way. He was basically letting the audience know he wasn't in this alone. Just in case facts came out later, he doesn't want all the smoke. Stay woke. All right? So basically, all of these people work together to run scams. And you know what they say, there's no honor among thieves. So of course they all fell out. Now they all exposing each other. But guess what? They all equally guilty. So Sean Davy Way makes a petition that says get Jaguar Wright off of Roku, which is understandable. I understand that. However, Sean Davy Way and Official King Payne is the ones who use their platforms to tell people to join her Roku. So how is it that there's a petition to get Jag off of Roku, but there's no petition against Sean Davy Way and Official King Payne off of YouTube? Because they will lie to raise money from the audience. They all are guilty. So if it's okay for Sean Davy Way to do a petition against Jag, there should be petitions against Sean Davy Way. When I did my video exposing world news 4 months ago for stalking, doxing, harassing Black people, Sean Davy Way made several statements, several times. He said, I don't have a problem with world news. I don't have no problem with world news. That's after I exposed him. After I exposed world news. Sean Davy Way said, I don't have no problem with world news. So if Sean Davy Way could support world news harassing Black women, Sean Davy Way exploits and harasses Black women. Sean Davy Way has also released nudes on a Black female YouTuber. He put it on his Patreon for money. That's the reason why Sean Davy Way don't have a problem with world news, because world news attacks Black women. Sean Davy Way attacks Black women. But who supports Sean Davy Way? Danny Robertson and All About the Trees. They sing his praises like he's such a good person. Right? So these YouTubers, they work together. They don't criticize each other, but they get on a platform every day and criticize other people. They all stalk, dox, and harass people, release people's personal information, nudes, send police to people's house, all type of stuff. They go overboard and cross the line, but they would not want none of this stuff done to them. And that's the reason why they support each other. But guess what happened? So Sean Davy Way supports world news. World news attacks trees. World news verbally attacked trees. He cursed her out on her own platform. And then he went on his platform and started releasing pictures of her looking very unflattering and calling her all type of bad names. However, trees constantly support Sean Davy Way. Trees will write on her community post, I love me some Sean Davy Way. I love Sean Davy Way. And when I exposed it, Trees went on her platform and made a video that said, if loving Sean Davy Way is wrong, I don't want to be right. Meanwhile, Sean Davy Way supports World News, who cursed Trees out and has made videos cursing Trees out. Sean Davy Way said he don't got no problem with World News. So Trees will continue to support Sean Davy Way, even as Sean Davy Way supports World News, who cursed her out more than once. Danny Robinson supports Sean Davy Way. Sing his praises, or we're YouTube friends, blah, blah, blah. World News and Kulu Live made videos attacking Danny Robertson, saying that they want to dox her. They want to find out where she works. They're going to show up at her job, and they're going to find out her address and post it online. All of this stuff. World News attacked Danny Robertson, and Kulu Live attacked Danny Robertson for no reason. They said they're going to expose her, dox her, go to her job, and all type of shit. They released pictures of Black women who they thought was her. All of this they did to her. But she supports Sean Davy Way, who says he has no problem with World News. So why isn't Danny Robinson and Trees demanding that Sean Davy Way take a stand against World News for cursing them out and trying to stalk them and dox them and harass them online, which they didn't deserve? They didn't do nothing to World to deserve that. You see what I'm saying? When I say all these people is connected, crisscrossed, they support when one person is demonic, and then they expose somebody else for being demonic, and then they all participate in demonic behavior themselves as well. Anyway, I was watching this little short on YouTube, detoxing your mind. One of the tips was start unfollowing. Unfollow people who do not make you feel empowered, informed, or inspired. A lot of these people I'm talking about, they have bad behavior. If I never said anything about any of the people I just said, They are doing things that's above and beyond what people should be allowed to get away with on YouTube or on social media. They're doing things to people that they would not want done to themselves. All of these people go to great lengths to hide their identity, but then they wind up doxing other people. If you dox somebody else, then you should be doxed too. All right. But no, you're going to take every precaution to make sure it don't happen to you. So that means you know what you're doing is wrong. So if you following people and you see that they're going way too far, prying into people's personal lives, trying to find out people's friends and family who's never done nothing to you, who's never done nothing to you. The only time I've investigated people is when they've ripped off a whole lot of people, stolen thousands and thousands of dollars, or if they are deceiving a lot of people to make money in some other kind of way, if they're lying on God and the Bible to deceive people, or if they personally threaten me with bodily harm, that they're going to threaten me for my freedom of speech. That's when I start investigating people. That's a reason to investigate people. They're investigating people that's completely harmless and innocent. That's not causing harm to anybody else. Stop following these people, because the more support you give them, the more evil and wicked they become over time. And they form groups, they work together, and they help each other gang stalk other innocent people. Here's another form of groupthink. The Seventh-day Adventist religion. Jaguar Wright said that she's Seventh-day Adventist. Guess who else Jaguar Wright said is Seventh-day Adventist? Jag says Sean Davy Way is a Seventh-day Adventist. So these two people was raised in the Christian Seventh-day Adventist movement of the church, which is completely fake religion. And this is the reason why they're so demonic and godless right now, because their religion is fake. If they had the common sense to do the research to find out that they was on some fake shit, then they might be able to focus on finding their way back to God. Just because you was raised in a fake religion doesn't mean God is fake. It just means you was deceived. This Seventh-day Adventist thing was created by somebody who taught that, it says Seventh-day Adventists trace their origins to the teachings of the American preacher William Miller, 1782 through 1849, who preached that the second coming or advent of Jesus was imminent. Unfortunately, Jesus did not appear on the day in 1844 promised by Miller. Okay, and many of his followers left his movement. So that means the Seventh-day Adventist movement, that part of the Christian, what is the word, denominations, is false. The man said Jesus was going to appear on a specific day in 1844, and that did not happen. That's the definition of a false prophet. So everybody who believes in a Seventh-day Adventist denomination, they believe in the lies of a false prophet. This is what Jaguar and Sean Davy Way is into. And now we can see how their behavior has turned out on the internet. Okay? When you don't believe in God, you believe in the devil. So they believe in what some lying ass devil man told them. And they refuse to actually humble themselves and believe in God. This is the original person who lied and said Jesus was going to come back in 1844. And who created the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Okay? So that's part of groupthink. When people join these religious cults that lie on the Bible and lie on God, they've been doing this for like 100 years now, and they still have Seventh-day Adventist churches. People still haven't figured out that the person who created it was a false prophet. It says the Bible warns against false prophets, occult practices, and other means of sorcery. False prophets are those who assume to speak in God's name anything he has not commanded, or speak in the name of other gods. They prophesy lies, offering false visions, divinations, idolatries, and the delusions of their own minds. And that's exactly what this guy did when he created the Seventh-day Adventist religion. Okay? So the bottom line is, if they're going to believe in these type of things, it's not helping them in their growth and development as human beings to grow closer in their relationship towards God. Let me check the comments. Jaguar is a disgrace. That's going to be scary. People are really buying it. Yep. And that's why I'm out here exposing all of this stuff, because people are really buying it. Right? And it's pathetic. Who was the first black president ever? Christopher, you will have to join my Patreon at the $7 tier. I'm going to do a whole lecture on the first black president. And there was more than one. I'm just not giving all the details because it's a lecture I'm going to do on it on my Patreon. So if you join at the $7 level, you can hear all about it as well as other lesser known black history facts. Shell said that's a mockery to the Most High because he rested on the seventh day. Exactly. People take the Bible and they use it as a weapon to trick people, and people fall for it all the time. They don't think it through and say, you know what? This doesn't make any sense. This should not be a religion. That's what groupthink is about. Christopher said, hold on, why you gotta curse? Christopher, because I'm a grown adult. I can curse. What's the problem? Okay, I didn't cast a spell. I didn't curse people with 50 years of demonology. Okay, saying a couple of curse words, it's not a big deal. I'm an adult. This channel is not for children. All of my videos I put not for children, so the artificial intelligence hides my content from minors. All right, so if you have a problem with cursing, I would love to know what other YouTubers that you follow, Christopher, and how many of them do or don't curse, and if you have a problem when they do it. Christopher, where's the link? I got $7. The link is on my community wall to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Leilani for God. It will also be posted in my comment section. When this video is over, I'll pin it at the top of the page, and you'll be able to click on it straight from my comment section. All right. So we'll be going over that and a whole lot of other Black history facts that people don't really know. This is another mind control program. Oh, that's okay, Christopher. Welcome aboard. You're welcome to come hang out, check out some of my other content. And yes, Christopher, you subscribe, you can check my community wall and you'll see the link to my Patreon is there. And Christopher, you're free to say whatever you want, but just be prepared for me to reply and don't get upset. Okay, just stay in the conversation. This is all about mind control. The title of the video is MK Ultra, mind control, subliminal messaging. So this whole time that I've been talking, I don't even know how long I've been on here. I've been basically talking about a whole bunch of different types of mind control methods that work on large groups of people and how any one of us at any time could be under this mind control hypnosis. And the reason why I'm taking the time to break down all of these different forms and fashions that mind control comes in is because we never think that we are victims of being under some type of mind control program that's designed to control our behavior, the way we think, and how we spend our money. And the problem is these mind control programs are turning people mean, wicked, and evil. And that's the problem. And that's why it needs to be exposed. So when this is over, you can go back, watch from the beginning, and, learn about this, because the more you know, the less likely you could be tricked. All right, Christopher, he says, I'm a big boy, and we probably agree on most things. I'm not trying to talk down to you like you're a little kid. I'm just giving you a quick synopsis so you understand what we're doing here. Okay, so I'm glad that you're a big boy. Then you should not have been complaining about cursing. Okay, so don't start with me because I'm gonna get you. All right, but anyway, enjoy yourself. Enjoy the show. Get you some snacks. Watch from the beginning so that hopefully if any of this type of programming that I'm exposing has affected you, this will break that programming and they won't be able to brainwash you in the future. All right, so this is another type of mind control that's been going on for a long time, which is called neuro-linguistic programming. The general public is not aware of it, but it's constantly being used against us through speeches. When politicians give speeches, a lot of the language that they use is neuro-linguistic programming. There are a lot of people that pay a lot of money to go to seminars, like self-help seminars for like the weekend or for several days. And they're saying like, oh, you can have breakthroughs and anything is possible. And you can have anything you want out of your life if you just apply these principles we're teaching you in these seminars. but they're just using verbal hypnosis techniques to trick people and get people like, you know how like people always say people go to church on Sunday and they're all good and then they sin every other day of the week? It's like that. People go to church on Sunday, they get a good word, they feel better, but they don't really change for the better. They go back to being bad people. And it's the same thing with these seminars. They use neurolinguistic programming because it's a way to verbally hypnotize people and make them feel in the moment like, yay, I feel great. But it's really a band-aid. It's a mental trick that makes people feel like they're getting something when they're really not getting anything. And it inspires people to pay a lot of money to continue to do these type of courses. So one of them I want to expose is because Jaguar has been promoting it. I don't want to say the name of the group because I don't want to promote them. Because what happens is if I say, this is the name of them, people will go research them. Some people will wind up getting tricked by them and join them and pay them $500 to $1,000 per course. And it's all lies and bullshit. It just make you feel good temporarily, but it doesn't really change your life in real life. So one of them was founded by this man named Werner Erhard. Okay, he created a program called EST, which was offered from 1971 to 1984, which he replaced with the Forum, which is what Jaguar Wright has been promoting. She was saying that if her husband completes these courses at the Forum, she'll take him back. And she said it repeatedly. And it was really bothering me because I'm like, why is Jaguar promoting the Forum? It's neurolinguistic programming, which is verbal hypnosis. And so what we need to understand is that a lot of different self-help programs, they use this language. And I don't know how to explain it other than it's a way of talking to people so that they think the problem is solved. But the type of problems are very deep rooted, like trauma that people have had since they were children, problems that they have in their romantic relationships, problems that they have in their friendships, relationships at work, family. So when people sign up for these seminars, they tell them, oh, what's the problems that you wish you could get resolved in your life? And people write it down and they make them talk about it. And they'll be like, all right, listen to us. Well, we're going to tell you, you need to apply these strategies and then you're going to get those relationships complete. And when I listen to Jaguar talking to people, she uses this type of language all the time: possibilities, integrity, complete. And I'm like, it's obvious that these programs didn't work for Jaguar. It's just another form of mind control, like her religion, the Seventh day Adventist. If she was as smart as she claims to be, she claims to have a 168 IQ. Mind you, that's a higher IQ than supposedly Albert Einstein, higher than Bill Gates, higher than Elon Musk. If she had such a good IQ that was that high, she would be having those type of conversations. Why isn't Jaguar talking about creating new technology like Elon Musk or like Bill Gates? Why isn't she speaking on a global scale about solving problems? Now, I'm not saying that Albert Einstein, Elon Musk, or Bill Gates are good people. I'm not like, that's not what this video is about. I don't think any of them were good people, and I don't think they tell the truth and that they care about the masses of people. I don't. But what I'm saying is, why doesn't Jaguar have conversations on their level if her IQ was so much higher than theirs? Right? And then on top of that, she's completely fallen for the deception of her religion and the deception of this forum that she keeps promoting for other people to do on her when she talks about it. And I'm like, why hasn't she figured out that that's a bunch of BS that doesn't work? But as I said earlier in this, I told you guys, pay attention to how many times I brought up Harvard. That's like the top, college and university in America is Harvard. But here again, we have this guy who founded one of these neurolinguistic programming seminars. He has lectured at Harvard University, which is one of the main places that the CIA developed mind control techniques. All right. So I hope Jaguar, because I know she likes to watch content of people that talk about her. I hope that she could learn from all of this stuff I'm talking about and understand that she's under various different forms of mind control. And she keeps promoting it. She keeps talking about how she's Seventh-day Adventist, and she keeps talking about the forum, but she's not realizing that these are false programs that have lied to her, given her false promises. And the fact that she keeps promoting them shows that she deeply believes in them. But we see that whatever they've taught her is not working. It's not improving or increasing the quality of her life at all. When you believe in lies and then you move forward in your life and you keep basing everything on those lies, you see it results in nothing. Plain English Guide to Neurolinguistic Programming, NLP, in sales. So not only is neurolinguistic programming used for people who want to go to self-help seminars to overcome trauma in life or whatever baggage that they want to quickly get over, neurolinguistic programming is also used in sales. So when you go to the store to buy a new flat screen TV, it's possible the salesperson trying to sell it to you is using this funny language on you, trying to get you to make a purchase. Because mind you, that's the whole reason behind all of these different forms of mind control, is to control your behavior and get into your wallet. And that's why it's used by the government, by people who run seminars, because it's a way to keep you coming back for more seminars. People use it in sales. People use it in religion. It's all about controlling you and getting into your wallet. The first thing that this person says about neurolinguistic programming, I've always loved hypnosis. Like, I'm a huge fan of those local hypnotist performers. First words about neurolinguistic program, hypnosis. What does he say furthermore into his article? He said NLP, neurolinguistic programming sales phrases, are sometimes referred to as magic words or described as hypnotic. So once again, as he goes on to talk about it, and he's not against it, he's for it, but he's letting you know it's hypnotism, magic words. When people speak magic words over you, that's called putting you under a spell. And the problem is, you don't know that that's what they're doing to you. When you sign up to take these seminars, when you go to make a purchase and these people are using this weird language on you to try to trick you, you don't know that that's what they're doing. You're like, okay, this person is trying to take me somewhere, and either you're going to go for it or you're not, but they're using strategies on you that would be the equivalent to hypnotizing you and putting you under a spell. All right, guys? So you want to look into that so that you're not a victim of that type of language and programming. And to be honest with you, if y'all remember how when Obama ran for president, everybody like in the whole wide world was so crazy for him all over the world. Like, they were not even in America, and they were like treating Barack Obama like a rock star. Everywhere he went, he had rock star level reception. It's because all of his speeches were written in neurolinguistic programming language. I recognized it when he would speak. I could hear the catchphrases. Okay. I've been studying this type of stuff for a long time because I work as a mental health and substance abuse counselor. That's the only work I've done in my career. Okay. So there's a lot of things that I know about mind control. And that's why I stay working in nonprofit, because I have the type of degrees that I could work in advertising or marketing if I wanted to. And I could make a lot of money. I could make a lot of money anywhere. I could go anywhere in the world and work at a very high level and make a lot of money. But I choose to use my degrees to help everyday people. I don't use my intelligence to benefit the devil network. Why should I use my intelligence to help them sell fast food and makeup and clothes that you can't even wash in the washing machine? It's all about taking advantage of people. And that's why I've stayed in nonprofit instead of going corporate. Someone put in a comment section under a video about mind control that I was watching, as soon as you hear NLP, you ought to know it's a cult. So some people are very well aware how neurolinguistic programming is used to put people into a deep state of being easily used and taken advantage of by other people. Okay, so let me check the comments real quick, see how you guys are doing. Brittany says, I was just going to say, is the church any different? Are the people bad or misguided? Brittany, I have a lot of videos on my channel you can check out to answer that question. I also made a playlist called Fake New Testament. The Old Testament of the Bible is the real Bible. The New Testament was completely faked and made up 100 years after Jesus died. And it basically, the purpose of it was to make men be in between you and God. Anybody under the Christian denomination is trying to take advantage of you and take your money. The Pope, all of them, everything that uses the New Testament is all fake. The real Bible is really the first 5 books of the Bible. Those are the laws, the statutes, and commandments. That's the real Bible. Everything else is wisdom and poetics. That's it. So anything New Testament, if a religion follows New Testament, it's fake, period. There's no way around it. And the proof is all over my channel. And I have the fake New Testament playlist. So Brittany, if you want to know more, you could find out. So Brittany says that wasn't the reason. It was the group mentality and identity politics. I don't know what you're referring to, Brittany, but the proof that the New Testament is fake is a playlist that I made for you guys. Fake New Testament. The research is in. The proof is there. The New Testament is fake. Brittany says nonprofits are the biggest money grabs. Well, Brittany, it depends on which ones. I work in mental health and substance abuse counseling. So I'm not doing a money grab. And the work I do actually helps real people really get their lives and their families back on track. Now, if you want to talk about nonprofits like the American Red Cross, yeah, people have done videos exposing how like 5% of the donations people make to the Red Cross go into those people pockets, and only like 95% of the money goes to the business pocket, and only 5% goes to really helping people in the world. So everybody needs to get in the habit of doing research before they support certain nonprofit organizations or any organizations. So this is why I make the videos I make, and I go into the level of detail that I go into, and why I make you guys playlists and all of that, because the information is there. We just have to seek it out so we don't become victims. All right. So the guy who founded the organization that Jaguar Wright promotes, the forum, his name is Werner Erhard. And someone did an article talking about neurolinguistic program, the forum, and Scientology being related, meaning they all using the same strategies to trap people into cult-like mentalities, right? So Werner Erhard, who founded the organization Jaguar, promotes his family affair. Werner Erhard's daughters, they said, we were petrified of our father. It was the kind of fear that you feel in your stomach. The only way I can describe it is to say that it's the feeling that you might lose your life. In June 17th and 18th in 1990, the Marin Independent Journal published a 2-part series on Est founder Werner Erhard, detailing the dissatisfactions and defections of former staff members and volunteers in his various programs. Many of these people claim that Werner Erhard and Associates operates more like a cult than the educational operation it claims to be. In connection with a lawsuit filed or brought by a former employee, several people filed court declarations accusing Erhard and his organization of abusing them emotionally and physically. They forgot to mention financially. Those courses are extremely expensive. They're $500 and up for each one. So it's actually really sad that Jaguar keeps promoting this stuff when his own daughters said that they were so afraid of their father that he made them feel like they could lose their lives. There were some allegations that came out on the guy who started that program, that he did some sexual abuse to one of his daughters. Like allegations like that came out about him on 60 Minutes, right? And that's what I'm telling you guys. The people who run these like mind control programs and cults and businesses and organizations, like people who try to force themselves into the top positions, are usually psychopaths, sociopaths, and narcissists. And they use this information not to help people, but to harm people. If somebody says they want to stop smoking cigarettes and they want to go to a hypnotist to do that, I wouldn't tell them not to do that, right? Because that's a very difficult addiction for people to break. And if hypnotism can help them do that, I'm all for it. If they're clear that that's the purpose of why they're going to see a hypnotist, right? When people are using these type of mind control techniques on you, whether it's in a business or a cult or a presidential speech and they're using this language against you, you don't know that they're hypnotizing you. They have not said to you, now I'm going to hypnotize you. Close your eyes, count to 10. Imagine you're walking on a beach. Like, you know what you sign up for when you pay a hypnotist, if that's what you want to do to quit smoking. But you have no idea when these other people are using these type of things against you. You just watching and just like taking it in unless you know what they're doing. I knew what Obama was doing when he was doing it. I was like, oh, he using that NLP language. And people went for it. That's why everybody went crazy for him all over the world. They don't even know why they went crazy for him. He wasn't even president yet when they went crazy for him. On Google, I found an article from 2015. It says how Hitler and Obama used neurolinguistic programming to deceive. When Obama learned the craft of covert hypnosis, neurolinguistic programming, he knew that he would be able to influence people, especially young people. Okay? So people have done articles on this. I'm not just saying it to be, salacious or whatever the case may be. But what I am saying is that this is what the strategy is behind the program that Jaguar Wright keeps promoting. And it's very dangerous because she speaks to thousands of people. She has videos where she has millions of views. So if she keeps like pointing people towards Seventh-day Adventist churches and neurolinguistic programming forums, and she keeps using this type of language in her communication to keep reinforcing it, she's really part of the problem. Not that she wasn't in other ways, but I've done other videos on Jaguar and I don't like to repeat myself. I like to make all of my videos different. So if you watch me talk about Jaguar in this video and you watch me talk about her in another video, you're going to find that I say different things each time. There's a lot to unpack there, right? But the thing is, these techniques and strategies, they affect a lot of people. So I just want to remind you guys, pay attention to people's actions, right? Because actions speak louder than words. A lot of people that's tricking and deceiving people in the Jaguar Wright sector, their actions don't match up to their words. And that's where people are not measuring them. People are like, oh, don't be judgmental. You absolutely should be judgmental. Even scripture says you will know them by their fruit. That means you judging the quality. Would you eat that fruit or not? That's a judgment. Does that fruit look healthy or that fruit look rotten? That's a judgment. Okay, don't let people use scriptures that don't exist to tell you don't be judgmental. You should absolutely be judgmental because that's the only way you can make a determination and evaluation if what's going on is good for you or bad for you. So win through your actions, never through your arguments. Prove your point with action. Emotional arguments solve nothing. Be about that action. And if you notice, that's what the whole Jaguar Wright sector is about. Just ridiculous arguments. People cursing each other out, stalking, doxing, harassing, following people around, contacting their jobs and friends and family, trying to humiliate them. For what? For nothing. It's not that serious. Whatever the problem was that started it was not that serious. Right? But these people are the same people who sit up there and say, oh, they're all for the Black community. They're all for Black women. No, where are your actions? Your actions are showing that you're a demonic spirit. So stop listening to people talk and watch what they do. Thank you guys. I want you guys to like my video, please. Share, subscribe, support patreon.com/LeilaniForGod. Anybody who joins at the $10 tier, you get access to all of the information at the $7 and the $5 tier. People who join at the $7 tier. Oh, the $10 tier is for people who want to make the decisions of who we go after, that we're going to take down. That's where we put our heads together and we say, listen, this person is out of order and we need to give them some attention. The $7 tier is the Black History Lectures. I'll be talking about the first Black president, all type of Black history that people never heard of, but very, very, very successful Black people. Millionaires, billionaires, inventors, like really, really powerful Black people that you never heard of. And that's what keeps us looking like we're just bad people. In addition to all of the propaganda on TV and movies and music and all of that, putting us down when we're very, very accomplished and successful people in truth. If you want to cash at me, it's Leilani For God, and my PayPal and my email address is leilaniforgod@gmail.com. feel free to email me. I had made a comment earlier in the video, and I want you guys to know that if you want to criticize me, you are more than welcome, because I do things sometimes. I'm harsh, I'm abrasive, I do yell, I curse and stuff like that. And I do think that bothers some people and turns them off. So if you guys feel like I need to tighten up and that's why people don't want to work with me to take down world news, email me, tell me, Leilani, I want to tell you, girl, I need you to work on some things, and then people want to work with you. So let me know. Be honest with me, because we need to get a committee going to deal with problems. And I don't want to be the reason why people don't want to deal with problems, right? If you guys have suggestions for like how we could work together as a committee, if y'all want to do research, if y'all want to help us find out how to get in contact with different corporate offices at YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Patreon, Cash App, PayPal, how we could start reporting these people that's being very aggressive and violent and criminal on YouTube. If y'all want to help us, email me. Say, I can't afford to join Patreon, but I can do research. I can do something. What can you do? What can you do? Right? You could always share my videos on different social media platforms to bring awareness, especially my playlist like World News Exposed. You can email me if you have ideas for future videos. All right. I got this idea from Izzy, right? Izzy, I was saying that Izzy said they really like my content. I said, what do you want me to do? They said, do mind control. I said, you know what? I have a folder with information on that. So I'll hop right on that. So I want you guys to actually get involved. We have to work together to take down these things. Let me check the comments real quick so that I can reply to you guys. Witches and warlocks everywhere. Exactly, loyal one. I try to avoid using that language, but it's the truth. It's witches and warlocks. It really is. They're casting spells. They're tainting the food supply. They're doing all of the things that witches and warlocks are known for. Brittany says, you do realize we need sheep in society. If we didn't have them, we would have no one supporting business that makes the world go around. Sad, but we have to have a flock. Brittany, that's what the New World Order people believe. So you have been indoctrinated to believe that. And that's not true, okay? Because the world was not always like this, but the world was still going around. Before European imperialism, almost everybody in the whole wide world lived in a communal fashion. And the world went around and around and around. European imperialism just happened 200 years ago. But human civilization is more than 2,200 years old. So people were doing perfectly fine without deceptive practices. Yes, loyal one, they are gatekeepers. Right, Shell? They say don't judge a book by its cover, but you absolutely should do as much investigation as you can, because there's some bad people that's really looking to hurt us and take advantage of us, and they will sleep good at night. They will never acknowledge what they did was wrong. Christopher, you got to stay. This is a good dialogue. Christopher, I've been talking for a long time, but you know what? I have a lot of videos. If you like this one, I think you will like my other videos. And Christopher, because you're new and you've been a good sport, I want to do something for you. I'm going to make the playlist. Earlier in this video, I showed you guys a whole bunch of screenshots of different videos on YouTube that talk about mind control. So I'm going to take the time to put them in a playlist for you guys on my Leilani for God channel. So y'all can have access to that was like 30, 40, 50 videos about mind control. So y'all can look at those videos and get a very good understanding. And once you start researching and studying and understanding all these different ways they control people, they won't be able to trick you. But you're going to start noticing everybody you know is under one or more forms of mind control. It's going to freak you out. But I'm going to do it just for Christopher. So shout out to Christopher. Like button, speak sweet words. How sweet. She says the like button is on top right, 3 tiny white dots. The more you guys press the like button, the more they will show it up in the algorithm. So that will be good to help other people to find my videos. Brittany, she says, I really enjoy your dialogue. However, I'm conflicted by the course of judgment on some. That's okay, Brittany. Stick around. Watch some of my other videos. I might have other videos that you might be more interested in or you might like a lot better. I talk about other celebrities and other stuff. So if you like the way I break things down, then you might like some of my other videos where I'm talking about other subjects. Virtuous, have a great rest of your night, Leilani. I'll be heading over there to Patreon. Good night, everyone in the room. See you all in the next one. Thank you, Virtuous. Looking forward to working with you. Brittany, your light should be directed in the opposite direction of world. Those people you can't save because he's clearly a nut. Brittany, I agree with you. I'm not trying to save world. He has a lot of victims. Okay. There's women on YouTube right now that have orders of protection against him. He keeps building new teams. He's had 3 teams of people that left and he keeps making new channels. He's not going to go away. If we don't take a stand to get rid of him, he's going to continue to release people's nudes, hack into their emails, their cash apps, all type of bad stuff. The fact that he's been doing this for 5 years is because people have been sitting back, not doing nothing about it. And also, Brittany, people on his beam team are harassing me. I had to report them to the police, and one of them threatened to whoop my ass. So unfortunately, Brittany, I'm not in a position to be quiet and allow world to continue to operate. Because if I continue to operate and he has some crazy people come whoop my ass, are you going to help me, Brittany? What you going to do? You ain't going to be able to do shit. So what I need to do is put an end to him now, because there are people who believe in him and they do go to people's homes and they take pictures of people's homes and they email them to those people, their backyards and everything. So if I don't do anything, it's allowing these people to put people under the threat of imminent danger. All right. So I know I'll be laughing and cracking up and carrying on, but y'all know I'm serious too. Okay. Ain't nobody gonna whoop my ass. And I need to document all of this stuff and make it known, because if I whoop somebody's ass, then what's gonna happen? They're gonna put me in jail, right? So we need to handle up on this business and let it be known I was threatened. So if anybody walk up on me in public and they get, handled, okay, ain't my fault. I was just minding my business. So we got to be careful, because there are crazy people who are stalking, doxing, harassing people on behalf of world news. For real. When Jaguar Wright was getting evicted, somebody from World News audience, they went to where she was in real time and filmed it for YouTube, right? Like, so much people is working for World News, going to his victims' places where they exist and reporting back to World News and recording them and sending audio and video, and they put it up on YouTube as content. So we have to draw the line that this behavior cannot continue. We can't keep letting it go on. Something bad is going to happen to somebody. And we don't have to let that happen. We can put our foot down as a community and contact these platforms and say, you have to get this out of here, because it would not be allowed if they was doing it to the Jewish people and the gay people and the white people. It wouldn't be allowed. So why are we letting it happen to Black women? All right. All right, guys. Thank you all for sticking with me for so long, for being good sports. Check out some of my older content. Check out my playlists. I will be making you guys a new playlist, Mind Control, so you guys can study up and you won't be victims. Stay blessed. I love you all for being here and supporting me, and I'll see you in my next video.